Yes, guys, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur with your boy, Big Dave, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, and Jack, America's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you your pre-match show. Fan show is what I will say. Now, this was originally supposed to be on Monday. However, your boy was setting up a TikTok for the Irish Hotspur. And no, you won't see me and Jack doing any of these collaborative dances or anything like that. But what you will see is our best bits and other bits and pieces that we're planning on doing there going forward. And also, I will be setting up a Discord for everybody to be able to communicate going forward and have their say on a lot of different things going forward and stuff like that. So make sure you look out for that. And I will be posting the first TikTok later on this evening. So please, I'll put the link up in the community section later on. Get over and give it a view and help your boy out. But Jacko, how are you, my man?
You tell me our first TikToks, Dave, won't be synchronized Werner on the dance floors or, pigeon dances of any kind. You're telling me that that's not going to be the first ones?
Well, we could do a Richarlison one. You could do the Richie's on fire, your defense is terrified. And right at the end, when the beat's about to drop, I could just go, Poo! That'll be good. Synchronized Werner dancing, although if he does score, we could maybe do that. But guys, let us know in the comment section, what do you want to see of your boys on TikTok going forward? But yeah, so that's why the fan show today instead of Monday. And I do apologize about being late. I was just giving the people in the back end a day in the life of Dave, which episode 2 will be resuming next week. But Jacko, game tomorrow, my man, against Brighton.
Yep.
You pumped for it?
Definitely pumped for it. Looking for a bit of revenge here against this Brighton side. I felt like they sort of they were kind of gloating a little bit, it felt like, in their last fixture. I think Joao Pedro was giving it a little bit large with his goals against us. Felt like there's a bit of back talking between himself and Lo Celso. Feels like there's going to be a bit of sparks between us and this Brighton team. I just hope that the Spurs players know that they didn't get the job done fully at Everton. They could have picked up 3 points there, and I think we would have been totally satisfied and happy with that. Sadly, they couldn't get that done. So there's kind of a bit of a need for a win here and a bit of a need for a run, which I'm already seeing from people like Dark Sun G and other people in the chat here talking about Spurs kind of, taking advantage of an opportunity to go on a run here ahead of the rest of the Premier League. So let's see if Spurs can do that with a convincing win against the Seagulls tomorrow, Dave. Turn them into the barbecue.
Well, we definitely do. So, we'll be definitely headhunting that bird expedition tomorrow. Get the BB guns at the ready and shoot down some seagulls tomorrow, because there is a flock due at N17, and we're definitely going to roast them, which I can not wait for. Look, we have a lot of things to talk about tonight. Papas, Matt, Sarr, Bissouma, Sarr, Lo Celso, they're all back. What's Tottenham's best midfield? What sort of mindset is Sonny in? Will Richarlison win January Player of the Month, which I think he fully deserves? There's a lot of different things to talk about tonight, and sort of what changes do you think we could expect in the live or in the starting 11 tomorrow? So please do let us know your answers to all these questions as we go through and speak to the guests. But let's welcome a few people in, see who we've got with us. We have Gary. Big up, my man. He says, evening to all you Spurs fans. Good evening, sir, and hopefully you're keeping well. Abdullah Barry says they did not train. Sonny did train. Sonny trained yesterday and today. And that was confirmed by Postecoglou. Not 100% sure about Bissouma. Apparently thinks we probably won't see him start tomorrow. Dark Sun G, good to see you, sir, and hopefully you're keeping well, my man. Says, come on, you Spurs. We finally have our squad back. Bar Solomon. And don't forget about ghosting young Dark Sun G. He's also in rehab for a thigh strain. He says, let's win tomorrow. Also, this is why I didn't want Son to play in the Asian Cup. We lost the FA Cup because of Klinsmann, our bench of Johnson, Bissouma, Pierre Højbjerg, and Werner. Jack, you take the meat. You take the meat off the carcass there. You pick what you want to talk about, and I'll come up with the rest.
Yeah, I could see why certain Korean fans were talking about maybe missing, ahead of this sort of Asian Cup. They just felt like they weren't going to win it with Klinsmann as manager. Not many people had faith in him. They don't think he really has the right tactics, doesn't set up his team in the right sort of ways. Also kind of gets outclassed in a lot of cases, I think, against other managers, even when he has sometimes a superior team. But Dave, I feel like with this sort of Klinsmann kind of hatred that's come from maybe Dark Sun G and I here, it's really only on a managerial level. It has nothing to do about the player, nothing to do about the man. I think Klinsmann clearly is, a fine guy, just, actually as well, seems to be quite humble as well. I think about his own abilities and even maybe his own managerial ability, but he does seem to not really get it right. And he also as well has had pretty good players and pretty decent teams in the past and hasn't done very well with them. I even would say that his USA sort of time period was perhaps even a bit over exaggerated or a bit kind of overvalued, maybe his work with the USA men's national team. But then again, not exactly the biggest fan of them in the first place. But Dark Sun G, I sort of felt for you when he was hired there in the first place. It felt like it did sort of lessen your chances of you guys winning a tournament. I still think that you would have been fine. Like, I felt like you guys probably have one of the best teams on paper in that Asian Cup, but I guess, Klinsmann and the rest of the team sort of found a way to not win it. And I do feel bad for Sonny because, like, kind of Harry Kane, Sonny, these sort of players, they do deserve trophies more than they actually get on a regular basis. And I hope that someday Sonny gets a trophy of some significance that he deserves. It felt like the Asian Cup was a good opportunity for it, though. So I do feel bad for him. It's just players like him, they do deserve a trophy of some significance.
Look, I'm one of them. If they're going out there to represent their country, I want them to go all the way, and more so Sonny than anyone, because he fully deserves it. Look at the commitment he shows towards club and country. He plays through injuries all the time, and he really did deserve it. Dark Sun G, you were favourites against Jordan. I mean, what happened there? How'd you end up losing 2-0 to them? That's an absolute shocker. Maybe Klinsmann isn't as good as a manager as I first thought, because I always thought Jack was being harsh, because I actually remember him bringing the USA, I think, to the last 16 or the quarterfinals of an FA of the World Cup, and he actually done pretty well, but maybe he's not as good. I know Philip Lahm, when he was manager of Bayern Munich, when Klinsmann was manager of Bayern Munich, didn't have much great things to say about him, so that, they're probably ringing home there. Look, as for our bench tomorrow, I mean, this is the exciting thing about having our first 11 back. You look at Werner, Johnson, where will they be most devastated? When teams are tired, get their electric lightning pace off the bench just to run at them, keep them honest, run them in behind, keep them penned back. That's where I think they'll have the best impact for Spurs on the games, because I do feel a large proportion of the fan base becomes frustrated with them because they can't do it on a consistent level the way Sonny does. So I do think they'll have a better impact off the bench. Jack made a great point earlier on in the season about Højbjerg. Best performances are from the bench, not starting this team, but off the bench. Again, similarly, when teams are tired, he's got a lot more space on the ball to be able to affect games. As for Bissouma, be interested to see what Postecoglou does. Does Bissouma have a lot of work to get back into this team after that red card and bowing out for AFCON early? Or does Bissouma sort of walk straight back in? I guess that's up to the guys out there to let us know. I'm sure you'll let us know, Dark Sun G. Do you start Bentancur? Do you start Bissouma? But look, regardless, we want revenge tomorrow, Dark Sun G. That is definitely on the menu tomorrow. And I want to see 4 put by them. I was absolutely embarrassed the last time out. It was around Christmas period, my favourite time of the year as well. So to me, they're the Grinch now. But I absolutely want to take down them Seagulls tomorrow. Dark Sun G, big yourself up, my man, and really appreciate the support. By the way, just quickly, there's a new referee tomorrow. I'm just going to give you his name. I'm going to let me know you're a man of refereeing stock, Dark Sun G. I'll give you his name. I've never heard of him before. Sam Barrett is the referee tomorrow, which I've never heard of. I'm a bit worried that the Premier League are pulling in guys we've never heard of before. Wonder what they're going to be up to tomorrow. But big up, Dark Sun G. Let me know if you know anything about that guy. Also, Oz Farage. Good evening, Dave, Jack, and all in the chat. No more excuses. I feel a 4-1 incoming. Exactly. Everyone is back, man. No more excuses. Dark Sun G says Giovanni Lo Celso may be on the bench as well. Let's go on a run. Jack, does Lo Celso on the bench sort of excite you? Because for me, how long is he going to be back for before he picks up another injury? Oh.
Sorry, I muted myself because of the sirens. Here's the thing, Dark Sun G. I'm glad Lo Celso is back. It's just what we needed him a few games ago. Like, there was really good opportunities for him to get a start, for him to kind of be a hero for us, where we did need that bit of extra creativity. You see what he is capable of, in certain games with a pass, with sort of that sort of eye for, a ball in behind, that first time ball that he played in behind to Sonny, who then was able to square it, to others. And I just feel like Lo Celso, he's a brilliant player when he is healthy and when he is available for Spurs. It's just he never is healthy or available for us. And that ultimately ends up costing us because he's playing a position in the squad where he is expected to be healthy for that moment when you need something else, or when Maddison needs a rest, or we just want an extra bit of creativity in that midfield. So many times it's just been crying out for Lo Celso to come into the game, and he's just not been available for whatever reason. I found it to be really frustrating. I just think he's got to go for that reason, because he's played a pretty simple role just to be basically Maddison's backup. And he's probably been more unfit than even Maddison has this season, despite playing more of a backup role. So Lo Celso, I hope, he does well, and I hope he carries us for the rest of the season. But I'm really getting frustrated with him, actually, for the most part, Dark Sun G. I just think his availability is just, deeply frustrating for me.
I'd argue he's not a great player anyway, personally. Look, it's just frustrating that, when Maddison was out injured was the time we needed him to step up, and he was always injured. You can't rely on the guy. Just get him gone at this point come the summer. But big up Dark Sun G, my man. Let's take welcome a few more in, and let's get on the guests. We have Deadlock 74. We have to win this one. Come on, you Spurs. We have the Big Pants. Take no prisoners tomorrow. They beat us in December. Payback, full team, no excuses. Absolutely spot on. We also have Sweeney Todd. Evening, Dave, Jack. Hope all is good, mate. Big yourselves up. Pat Whelan as well. Just quickly, that's not the case at all. The last 2 days, I've been absolutely recording content, clipping it, you editing it, uploading it, stuff like that, getting all the thumbnails together, all the pre-match stuff and everything else. And that's Dermot when he comes on. If you don't believe me, I don't even take his phone calls when I'm in the middle of doing all this stuff. So I'm not ignoring you whatsoever. In fact, I was going to respond to you as soon as I finished this, or more or less after I finished this, because I was on Twitter and I did see your message. But now I'm debating whether I should or not. But look, Pat, that's not the case whatsoever. Big up, Sweeney Todd. Good to see you, my man. We also have Talking Bear. How can Jack be America's #1 Spurs fan? Look, there's going to be a lot. I'm only messing. I'm only bantering. There's going to be a lot of people out there sort of claiming that one. It's just because I'm America's #1 Spurs fan. Jack doesn't want to claim
that's the only
#1 Spurs fan. I thought I'd claim it for him, Talking Beer. We also have Spurs GCTV. Good evening, Dave and Jack. Good evening, my man. Great to see you in the building. Hopefully you're keeping well. We also have Foggy Foam late night, Friday night with Dave and Jack. Oh, come on. Big up, guys. Yeah, we should start calling it Friday night under the lights or something like that. You know, I know it's a famous American football term. Maybe we can have our own football version. Big up, Foggy Foam. Good to see you. And then we have the Dermatron. Oh, Lord. Whoa. What's the super sticker? What has he done?
Let's see here. He's gone in full Tron mode, Dave. He's actually going Transformer mode. He's transforming into whatever form he'll take when he's at the game tomorrow. This is what he'll be doing to the Seagulls. He'll turn into the ultimate Dermatron transformation, and then he'll be turning them into a nice barbecue seagull on the next day. Big up to the Dermatron. Really, really generous as well, my man, ahead of your trip. So I do hope that you have the best of times. I know he's going to be spending probably the whole day out in London, and hopefully you spend have a nice time. Grab yourself a lovely little coffee. Nice little I think we had some really good Indian food last time we were in London as well. So Dermatron, I hope you have a lovely time. Spend some time at the club shop. Hopefully run into a club legend of Spurs that you'll be able to recognize straight away. But yeah, Dermatron, thank you for the support, brother.
Yeah, no, big up, Dermatron. I really do appreciate it. You know, you should have put that towards getting your Brennan Johnson jersey, my man. Big yourself up. Really appreciate the support. Or you could have had a breakfast for Kings tomorrow before kickoff. But look, really appreciate the support, my man, and the size of it. Really do appreciate it. But everyone, when Dermot does come on, wish him the best of luck as well. He's heading over to the game tomorrow. But also, if you don't know, you should know it was his birthday this week. So wish him a happy belated birthday when he comes on as well. We also have the one and only Davy Shire in the building. Good evening, big up Davy Shire. Good to see you. How are you and the family keeping, my man? We also have Nitro 8 DJ. Good evening. Good to see you, my man. Hopefully you're keeping well. Davy Shire has gifted one IrishHotspur membership. Jacko's the lucky recipient.
Just the person you just mentioned there, Nitro DJ. Do thank Davy Shire there. He's been very generous to you, gifting that membership. Take advantage of it. Now you get to see our pre-match thoughts ahead of this game, only exclusive to the members there, Nitro DJ. So take advantage of it. And if you feel like coming on a fan show, feel free to do so. There's still an okay queue, not too long. And so if you want to pop on, have a say, feel free to do so. But take advantage of it. And thank you to Davy Shire.
Yeah, big up Davy Shire. Make sure you take advantage of it and thank him in the comment section below. We also have Phil P. Here they are. Two of the very best in the business, Jack and Dave. Woo! Look, I like to think we're two of the very best in the business. Obviously not. We will be one day, but really do appreciate it, Phil P. Hopefully you're keeping well. And I know you're definitely excited because you're probably going to the game tomorrow. Hopefully you can bring the luck of the Irish with you, with all the other Irish descending on N17 tomorrow. Get the win, my man. Come on, let's go, Phil P. Woo! Bobby K, big up David Jack and everyone in the chat. Come on, you Spurs, big up Bobby K. Hopefully you're keeping well, my man, and the two kids as well. And good to see you in the building. Who else have we got here? Let me see. We have the Alaskan Hotspur. Big up, my man. One of my favorite places on earth. He's reporting in. How you keep and let me know how Alaska is. We also have HO maintaining that grind after a loss was not good for, or maintaining that grin after a loss was not good for optics.
He's talking about Jurgen Klinsmann after the loss to Jordan. He was sort of grinning weirdly after it in sort of a unfitting type of way.
Oh, he was grinning. Didn't see that. Did
grinning
not
after
see
losing.
That. Yeah, it's not good. I hate that. I want to see the hurt on their face. Paddy Harnett says, hello, you fantastic people. Up Spurs. Big up, Paddy. Hopefully you're keeping well, my man. Your boy will be going to the North London Derby this year, so let me know if you're going as well, and hopefully we'll be able to meet up, my man. Good to see you in the building. We also have Georgie in the house. Jordan must have been on the gas. Yeah, I don't understand how they lost that, man. I really don't. We also have Phil P. How hyped are you for the Nations League game? Look, I had a bit of a disaster here, Phil, right? I got a season ticket last season for the whole year. And I enjoyed the day out. You know, when there's no Premier League, it was nice to have a day out. It's only 45 minutes away from me. Very nice. However, the football was absolutely turgid and it was worse than Spurs. And Matt Doherty was our right back and gave up I don't know how many goals during the qualifying campaign last year, whilst giving the ball away in possession, which led to them, which was hugely frustrating. So, as you can imagine, it wasn't as relaxing for me. I was really pissed off. It was really draining, actually, because of how boring the game of football was and how little we created. I gave up my season ticket this year because we don't even have a manager and the shit show that the FAI's in. Well, guess what? Then they come out with this draw. It's too late to get my season ticket back. So now I'm going to have to buy 2 tickets for a block of 2, which you have to do, which is going to cost me the price of my original season ticket anyway. So it's absolutely really annoying, Phil P. However, your boy cannot miss this opportunity, and by hook or crook, I will get myself there. So if there's anyone that's, likes this channel and has sponsorship or might know someone with a seat in the Aviva for that day, please let me know. But big up, Phil P. I'm absolutely pumped, but we are going to get absolutely slapped up. We are so bad. You know me. Usually I sit here, front it, and everything else. Can't do it. We are so bad, man. But big up, Phil P. Absolutely pumped for the draw. Jason Bell, big up, lads. I think Bissouma starts. Sonny might come off the bench. Let's wait and see what happens there, George, or Jason, my man. It'd be very interesting to see what Postecoglou does. He didn't start Sarah after returning from AFCON last week. He brought him off the bench. So let's wait and see. P-Dubs, great to see you, my man. Hopefully you're keeping well. How's that jacuzzi going? We also have Donovan, new striker in from Canada. Great to see you, Donovan. Hopefully you're keeping well, my man. Who else have we got in here? We have King Huddle says, evening, the 3 successive home games are must-win games if we are serious about top 4. Full squad, no excuses, absolutely spot on. 3 home games on the trot is absolutely huge for us, and we have to take full advantage of it. Big up Talk of Ball as well. Great to see you in the building. Hopefully you're keeping well. I'm not sure whether that's LTL or whether that is Colin or Ash. It could be any of them, really. Let us know who it is. We also have Davey Shire with the super sticker. Wow, Davey, really appreciate it, my man. What's he doing? Spinning off his chair or something?
Yeah, let's see what Davey's got here. He's actually just sent in a nice, lovely super sticker of a thank you. So thank you very much there, Davey Shire. Appreciate you, sir. Thanks for being a part of this lovely community. And you're also very, very generous to us, very generous to others, giving out the memberships, and also just really supportive of this channel. So I do appreciate that, Davey. And hopefully as well, you can find some sort of comfort in this these pre-match sort of thoughts and some of these guests that we're about to bring on here and see what they have to say ahead of this Brighton preview. And hopefully we'll all be eating barbecue seagull tomorrow. Davey, big up to you, sir. Really appreciate your support. Really nice to us, man.
Yeah, big up, Davey. It's a very I'd say civil super chat. I thought you'd be like spinning off your chair or something like that. But big up, Davey. Good to see you, my man. And hopefully you're keeping well down under in the middle of your summer. I always found it weird, actually, that Australia had their summer around Christmas time. I don't think I could ever cope with that. But big up, Davey. Sure, good to see you. We also have Steve D. Hey, guys. Dave, mate, your internet connection is like an old car. Seems to be getting closer to a full breakdown every stream. Do you know what it is, Steve D? It is bad. But also, we've a lot of storm weather lately, and it's just not helping me out whatsoever. It's like God doesn't want to be on my side. However, I will be getting a new provider very, very soon. So stay tuned, Steve D. Good to see you in the building, man. How are you?
Give it a
let me know.
Probably give it a refresh before we bring on Mia, maybe. But I think, it's getting through it at the moment right now, Stevie D. At least we can understand Davo, but sometimes his face is freezing a little bit, but we are hearing you just fine.
Some would say that's a good thing. They don't want to see my ugly face. But big up, Steve D. Good to see you in the building. He's also got Hennessy. Hello, my man. How are you keeping? Good to see you in the building. Let me know how you are. And surely you're done with college now. Surely you've got that master's degree in the bag now, my man. We also have Dark Sun Key, my best 11, Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, Doji, Benticore, Sar, Madison, Sun, Richie, Kulu. I thought the rest sounded familiar. He was the ref for Luton versus Gunner. No red card. What challenge was that? Who deserved the red card? Dark Sun G, if you could just put it in the bottom of the chat, just jog my memory on the red card.
I think it was the Havertz challenge. I think it was the Havertz challenge, where he just went clean through him, both studs up as well. I think it was even on the touchline or on the sidelines as well, Dark Sun G, right in front of the managers, right in front of the assistant referee. It looked like pretty much a stone cold red card. Also was either right before Romero got his versus Chelsea, or it was like right after. And that's what even made it sort of more ridiculous, was I believe Romero, right, was given the controversial red card in that Chelsea game, whether you believe it was justified or not. But then the following week or the week prior, you see something like that from Havertz just not even get much of a VAR check or really anything. They actually sort of quickly waved it off. And I definitely say that one was far more cynical, far more stupid, nasty, all of the above, than really in comparison to sort of Romero's challenge, at least in my opinion. And when it comes to your best 11, I'd agree with that. I feel like I'd like to see more of certain players of recent that maybe have been kind of disappearing in certain games. Like Kulusevski, I think, has had a fine season, but in recent games, I have to say Dark Sun G has been a bit more anonymous. I'd still put him in my best 11, don't get me wrong, but he has been a tad more anonymous of recent games, and it's going to be nice to finally see the combination of Bentancur, Sarr, and Madison all at the same time. We can't really say that we've been able to see that all that much this season, if not really at all this season, right? Seeing them all three at the same time. So I really like your starting 11. That's probably the best 11 I could come up with. And then, yeah, if I remember correctly, Dave, that Havertz challenge happened like prior to the Romero one versus Chelsea, or it happened like a week after or something, which really made me kind of more incensed about that, because if they're going to give Romero's a red card, then surely they would have given one like Havertz's a red card, but no, they didn't.
Look, we know Arsenal are the new Liverpool, where they're getting the benefit of the decisions. We've seen that time and time again in their games. There was one in the Newcastle game as well. Maybe that might have been the Havertz one. I think Dark Sun G is saying the Keyword one was the one in the Luton game. They've actually got away with it a couple of times this year, Dark Sun G. Reminiscent to when Liverpool were in a title race with Man City, isn't it? But look, as far as the best 11, my man, I mean, that's what I think Nottingham's best 11 is on paper. I think you know, you gotta have Sarr there. He brings that balance. He's the unsung hero of the squad. He does all the work rate for everyone else who's maybe technically more efficient and stuff like that. But I'll definitely go with that starting 11 for sure. I think it's our best available. And look, it's up to Bissouma to prove us wrong, Dark Sun G. I wonder, Kenny. But yeah, he says keyword challenge similar to how cute he got his. Then Gunners won 4-3. So there was Kiwar in that game, and then the Havertz one was in the Newcastle game. If I remember
Havertz was in the Newcastle game. That's right. That's right. Kiwior's challenge. I'm trying to remember. I can't really recall that one, but I do remember Arsenal winning in a pretty disgusting sort of way against Luton. I actually remember that Luton pretty much deserved actually either all 3 points or at least a point in that. And the way that they did come back, Arsenal was sort of disgusting to watch. And I do remember there being a controversial call at some stage.
Hopefully, the referees can take them out of the title race very soon. You know, give them a bit of false start and help them get in it, and then snatch it away from them. That would be absolutely brilliant. But look, I'm not concerned anyway, Jackson G. They ain't going to win the title this year. Definitely not. It's Liverpool or City's. They're being the pretenders. Yet again, great pretenders that they are. Big up Dark Sun G, my man. Really appreciate the support. IrishHotspur has gone mad on the flat caps. Absolutely love them. I'll be honest. I think I've got a flat cap for nearly every occasion now, to be honest with you. I've got a nice one that Jack sent a couple of years ago that goes with suits and stuff like that. Then I've got stuff that goes ones that go with tracksuits. I've got ones that go with jeans and sort of dinnerware and stuff like that. It is an addiction. And I feel like they enhance the look, to be brutally honest. You walk in there, everyone thinks they're slick. And then they see that you've got that one added thing in the flat cap. If you wanted to, you could get a pocket watch to go with it and really upstage them all, the Alaskan Hotspur. Beat yourself up, man. Who else have we got? Marky, the leader of the Mark Army. Great to see you in the building. Hopefully you're keeping well, my man. And we also have DJ Samuel. How you keeping, DJ, my man? Don't forget to send me over what you're putting on this weekend.
He's leveling up. Doing? He's leveling up, Dave. He's getting into full DJ mode. He's trying to get strong, trying to get basically nice and bulked up ahead of some seagull hunting, ahead of some bird hunting this weekend, DJ. Big yourself up, my man. He's also sort of transforming himself, kind of a bit like the Tron was in his super sticker, but it's a big level up there from DJ Samuel. Appreciate your support, my man. Our man out in North London, our representative of the Irish Hotspur. Appreciate you, sir. Really generous to us as well.
He's just getting them arms pumped up to get the site ready to put the eagles or the seagulls out of the air. Big up, DJ, my man, and hopefully you're keeping well. Really appreciate the support. Let me know if you're going to have any winners this weekend, though, man. Big yourself up, lad. And are you going to this game? By the way, let me know if you're going to this game. I know you live in around North London. Bobby BG says Tottenham surge towards the top will begin tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs. I really do hope so, my man. You know me, I'm addicted to winning. So winning is my kryptonite. So hopefully we can get back to winning ways tomorrow. It's been a while. What have we won in our last 4 or something like that? Not good. Not good. Nick, my man, hopefully you're keeping well. Good to see you, brother. Could be joining me on this North London Derby experience. That would be nice. Who's he gifting memberships to, though, Jacko? Who's the lucky recipients out there?
The one and only P Dubs has been gifted a membership, who I will be seeing later tonight. So, Nick, by the way, sir, if you are available after work, feel free to meet up with P Dubs and I. We'll be over in Manhattan grabbing a nice beer. Talking Ball also gifted a membership. Nice one, Talking Ball. Talking Beer also gifted a membership. Big up to Talking Beer, who also claims to be USA's #1 Spurs fan. So if you ever want to come on and have your chat, feel free to do so. Rain Man gifted one, as well as Bald Bean Counter. Bald Bean Counter, nice to see you gifted the membership. And now you can finally see some of the updates of our fantasy videos. Because if you've been missing those, we've pretty much been praising you, but also hoping for your demise and hoping for your downfall at the same time, because we've grown a little sick of seeing you at the top of the league continuously when it comes to the fantasy. So we've been praying that someone takes you out, but also we've been definitely giving you some praise at the same time, because it's pretty impressive how long you've held this position at the very top. Clearly, you know what you're doing. Big up to Felix, the Bald Bean Counter. Big up to Rain Man, Talking Beer, Talking Ball, and Mr. P Dubs. Thank you, Lazy.
I feel like Felix got one last week. He's a very lucky guy. He's always picking up these gifted memberships. Big up Felix and big up Nick. Really, really generous thing to do, my man. And by the way, let us know when you're free. You got to come on and have a conversation with us very, very soon about Tottenham. We miss having you around, my man. You keep me in back sane, so you do. But big up, Nick. Good to see you in the building. Let's welcome in a few more, and then we will crack on. We've got Davey Hall. Great to see you. We also have Daniel. Good to see you, along with Killian Kenny. Good to see you, my man. Tottenham Thomas in here. Says happy Friday, Dave and Jack. And chat, boys. He's clearly happy about the draw. Ireland, England in the Nations League. We have Uphill Gardner. Spurs have been pretending for 63 years, Lord. Come on now. Come on. We're better than that. We're not going to rip ourselves down here. If Arsenal want to do that and Chelsea and all on their channels, fine. We're not going to do that here. Come on. We just like to grind on other teams over here. Like to sort of be delusional and ignore some of them facts at times. Davy Shire doesn't want to be upstaged by Nick Jack. I think we might have a competition brewing here. He's gifted out another 5.
Very generous of you, Davy Shire. I think he's just spreading the love like Lazy 8 was earlier. Thank you very much earlier, Lazy 8. Nick, I hope you're keeping well today on this Friday ahead of this weekend. And Davy Shire's gifted some to Bobby K, Just a Harmless Potato, Nick Brown, Giannis Rubulus, great name there, and Neil Hughes. Please, everybody, take advantage once again of Davy Shire's generosity. Appreciate you, Davy, and everybody who hasn't maybe, noticed or realized, we do match previews. Those are exclusive to you ahead of this weekend and only exclusive to you and your membership. Of course, if you do want to come on and have your say, you're welcome to do so tonight. Welcome to do so for the next fan show, and plenty of other, benefits and perks will come your way as well for the membership.
100%, and hopefully you do enjoy it. It's only a bite-sized sample of what we're doing at the minute, but I am in the middle of working things out going forward, so you'll get a lot more bite for your buck. So hopefully you do enjoy it. And big up, David Sher. Very, very generous of you, sir. Look, I think that's it. I think we've got to the bottom of the chat. I don't think we've missed anyone. I think we've actually said hi to absolutely everybody, which is good going. That's what we want. So I think it's time to get on the guest chat, right? We'll kick it off, I suppose.
Start off with Mia. Let's start with the Oprah. Definitely see what she has to say. Looking forward to this weekend and Mia's analysis. I'm not sure if she needs to hit me with Højbjerg stats ahead of this game, because I'm not sure if Højbjerg is playing. But if she wants to spend her time, destroying me on that regard, she's welcome to. But everybody, welcome Mia. Spurs Between the Lines. Love to get started with her.
Big up, Lee. Good to see you, my man. Let's get her on. Double trouble. Here we go, Mia. How you keeping?
Yeah, not too bad, lads. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Just passing time until tomorrow's kickoff, as we do. You looking forward?
I'm looking forward to these TikToks. We've got to have TikTok dances, surely. I don't even have TikTok, but I've heard that the kids they start doing these dances on this TikTok thing that everyone talks about. I
think that's all it's for, really, is synchronized dancing and all that type of jazz, Mia. I think that's what Dave has to realize. He's got to get his moves, situated. Got to start finding some synchronized Spurs dances.
I think you should invent a dance and make it a TikTok sensation.
Yeah,
I think that would be great.
What we'll do is once a year we'll see what dance or what trend people want us to hop on. We might do one a year just to satisfy them sort of followers. But no, basically it's just there for, upload our best bits from the content, our goal celebration from watch alongs and other bits and pieces and stuff. I'm yet to sort of get on it really and see what the trends are out there. So we'll have a look. Some of them I will not be touching anyway, that's for sure. Definitely want to try and stay away from the synchronized dancing as much as I can. But me, are you excited for the game tomorrow? You pumped up, big game tomorrow. Try and get back to winning ways, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm also like a little nervous, don't get me wrong, because I think we really do have to pay them back. Because I absolutely hate seagulls. I've made it very clear my feelings on seagulls. I absolutely despise them. Living so close to the beach as well, they're noisy, they're disgusting, and they steal your food. So we've got to absolutely smash them tomorrow.
I agree there, Mia. Also, do you feel like there's a bit of a revenge kind of factor going into this game as well? Like Spurs players might sort of have a bit of a chip on their shoulder going into this one with what happened last time?
I think so, and I hope so. Like Dave said, I hope so. I hope they've got that in their veins. I hope that they're injecting it into their veins, knowing what they got humiliated last time, that's going to hurt them enough for them to come out and actually do a decent performance. And I don't want none of this performance for 10 minutes, stop and then start again for another 10 minutes. I want an actual proper performance from my boys. And I feel like we've got no excuse now because we have got a lot of our players back now, only a few. That obviously Sessegnon don't really count. I don't really count him as a player. I count him as a bowl of cornflakes, and of course Solomon. So I think for me, there's no excuses.
They must use Sessegnon as one of those like test sort of kind of dummies for any, kind of a physical therapy, stretch, or, like when they're trying to, pop a shoulder back in or something. He just volunteers himself since he's never really on the pitch. He's more on the medical table. So he must be very serviceable to the medical team. Going into it, though, Mia, we are able to finally field, or at least close to, our strongest 11. Dark Sun G put out his strongest 11. Do you think that's sort of similar to you? I think it was Kulusevski, Richarlison, Sonny, midfield of Bentancur, Sarr, Madison, back four, pretty much the same. What's your strongest 11?
I think that's our strongest 11, but is that currently our best on form currently? Probably not. I don't think it is, because I think Bentancur's looks a bit off of it, and I think he pushed himself to come back early because I think he knew we needed him. Yeah. So I would say Bentancur and Kulu haven't been performing that great. Neither is Johnson. So I think that, like, for me, my best 11 is that, but versus my actual 11, I think that should play, because I think that some of those players need to be dropped, I think would be different. So for me, the midfield, I think that from what I read, Postecoglou said that Biss should be all right because he has been playing games. So if he's okay, I would start. I would probably start Bissouma, Sarr, and Madders. And then for my front three, if Sonny's okay to play, I'll play Sonny, Richie, and put Werner.
So you're sort of differentiating from, like, on paper best 11 versus on form, kind of on merit best 11.
Yeah, I think that we've got to consider that we've got more options. We can always change it. So I think that you've got to play your best players who have obviously got form, and also give the ones that haven't had form a break, and obviously not play them, because I think that they haven't earned their place, and maybe when they come on, they'll try and fight for their place a bit more. I think that Johnson is getting a bit of a hard rap, and I'll probably be a bit more lenient towards him, especially because he had a picture of his mum on his phone, and I'm a bit, I like mama's boys. I think it's kind of cute, because I hope one day that my boys do the same. So, I'm not going to argue with him about that one. But I do, like I say, I have said that he's not in form, and I think he should be dropped. And I think Kulu's the same. I think Kulu's had a few bad games. So I think that, I wouldn't play them. I think that if Bissouma's okay, I would 100% play Bissouma. And like I say, I would play Werner, has played on that side. So play that and play Sonny, because Sonny's our best player. You can't not play Sonny.
Just on Kulusevski quickly, Mia. This is a stat from the BBC website today. Dejan Kulusevski has created 46 chances from open play this season, more than any other player in the Premier League. And I agree with you, he's been way out of form recently. And he's only got 2 assists to his name, so it doesn't really add up. What's going wrong with Kulusevski at the minute? Is it others that maybe are not on his wavelength and not finishing the chances he's putting on a play, or is that end product not there?
I think it can be a bit of both, Dave, because I've been a bit of a supporter of Kulu. to be honest. I've not come down that harshly on Kulu. I can see that what he does do off the ball as well really helps us out, especially because he protects Porro a lot. So I think that's a major thing, and I think people probably take that a little bit for granted. But when we haven't got him on the pitch protecting him, you can see it. You notice the difference. So I've not been too harsh on him, but his end product hasn't been all that great. He cuts back a lot. He doesn't take his man on. He just doesn't have that confidence, that swagger, where in the first season, he had a bit more swagger about him, I feel. But this season, he just doesn't seem to have that swagger. And I think that it is that. But I feel a bit bad because I don't think Kulu, like I say, overall is an awful player. I just think that he maybe is lacking that bit of swagger, and maybe, like I say, if he isn't playing and he gets dropped, maybe he'll want to fight for it a bit more. The stats are amazing for him. As I say, you can't argue with that. But when you look at his end product and what we watch on the pitch, I think that tells a bit of a different story.
Foggy Foam in the chat saying laziness from Kulu has also cost us games against Brighton and Everton.
Fouls. To give away the free kick, absolutely. And when he put the penalty, when he pulled, obviously,
in the corner,
the shirt. I think that's the thing. I think that's the thing about Kulu. So I think something maybe in his head needs to be a little bit sat down, and maybe sat down on the bench, maybe get his head a bit straight, because I think it's costing us games, and we can't afford to do that.
Another player I want to speak about just quickly on that right hand side is Pedro Porro. I feel like the last few games, he hasn't really affected the game going forward since that Burnley scream. He's been very sort of quiet in possession. Now that Papa Matasar should be back in on that right hand side, do you think it'll give Porro a lot more confidence to get forward and affect the game in terms of on the ball, knowing that he's there to protect them? Because you'd argue, as a player, is he going to take the risk without Papa Matasar, knowing how often that side is going to be exposed? Do you think we'll see a much better sort of Pedro Porro then in terms of especially affecting the game going forward? Because I'd argue of his ability, I think the next progression is to start doing week in, week out.
Yeah, I think, Joe, what the problem is, Dave, is that it's not been lack of trying with Porro, because he has got forward, but some of his end product, again, has just been a little bit off. A couple of games that we've seen him where he's done a bit too a pass, but it's just a little bit too heavy, or he does the corners. The corners have been poor. His corners have been really poor the last few games. So I just think that there's something with him that just seems to not be clicking, because when he was clicking, he was fantastic on that ball. As soon as he got it to his feet, when you saw him kick that ball, you know that something magical was going to happen with him. But the last few games just seems a bit off it. I don't know. I don't think it's him maybe not going forward. I think maybe the lack of trust between players, maybe. Maybe it's just he's overthinking it when he is playing it forward, because he is concerned about getting back. Maybe there's all things that it could be a contribution, but I think that it's more his end product that actually has been more of a letdown, if anything.
Interesting. Seems to be the trend that you were saying about Kulusevski. You've been saying that about Pedro Porro. Bentancur, similar, where we know he can be better. He's just not as the word you used earlier was the correct word for it, but they're just not as focused or as just consistent as we usually expect them to be in these situations. And I could say the same thing about all three of those guys. We know they are a lot better, and they've shown they are a lot better even this season. So it's a peculiar one for sure.
Yeah. I think that sometimes things get into players' heads. Again, they're just human. So if they're playing a game of football and they already think everybody's talking about us conceding last minute, everybody's saying about this, that could easily affect them when they're on the pitch. They shouldn't let it affect them. They should try and focus, but it just seems that their focus is a little bit screw-whiff at the minute.
Yeah, it's the focus.
It is a bit screw-whiff, and what annoys me, I've seen two amazing stats there today. One about how many goals we've scored earlier on in games, but then, how many drop points we've lost from winning positions. And it's just down to a lack of focus, really, a lack of maybe that killer instinct. It's really, really sort of frustrating. Well, Mia, last question I have for you. Richarlison nominated for January Player of the Month. Is our guy going to win it, Big Rich?
Oh, I don't know if he will, because I looked at some of the other contenders and what their stats were when they put them up. And although I think he's done really well for us, and I like Richie, but I do think that the other contenders are quite strong contenders. But for the fact that he's actually been put in there, just shows everybody that we're obviously saying about him, that he has got it in him, and he seems to have got a bit of fire in his tummy. Like, he's just got that fire in his belly where he's a bit like, listen, I'm going to prove to all of you. And at this rate, he could exceed his top goal scored in the Premier League that he's done. So I think that would be fantastic for him. And it gives him that bit more confidence, because if he's been nominated for the Player of the Month, that must give him a little buzz as well. That gives him that little buzz more of confidence, because he took those 2 goals in that last game so beautifully and so confidently. When we were saying before, he miscontrols ball, he's rubbish, he can only hit it with his head, but he just proved that that's not the case. So big up to Richie, and I think him just being nominated for me just shows how far he's come in this time since he's first started.
Absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Couldn't have said it better myself, mate. But where can people find you?
They can find me over at Spurs Between the Lines. I do match reactions, I do match reviews, I do all kinds of different content for you all to watch if you like what I got to say. Like I say, I like to think that I'm quite an open person when I talk to people, and I like to listen to different opinions. I find it very fascinating to listen to everybody's different opinions, to be honest. And big up to everyone in the chat who has said hello to me, but I haven't had a chance to say hello to everybody. So hello to everyone who said hello back. Hello earlier.
Thanks for getting us started as well, Mia. As always, professional act. Unfortunately, we'll save the Højbjerg stats for maybe next time, so you can destroy me at that time.
Don't. I'm hoping that he's sitting comfortably on his sofa at home.
Hoping you won't have to use them.
When Højbjerg leaves, just quickly, when Højbjerg leaves, we are going to do a Højbjerg showdown. Jack's going to represent Højbjerg's career overall at Tottenham, and then Mia's going to give the counter, and it's going to be an absolute fascinating watch. But Mia, big yourself up. Lastly, score prediction.
I think we're going to win 2-1.
2-1.
2-1. 2-1. Right game. Hopefully not. Hopefully not me. Hopefully we score close tomorrow. But listen, happening.
I've already, Lee Smithy Smith has put in the chat. I've had a little tiny, I don't really bet very often, but I had a little bet, like a £2 bet on Richie to score a hat trick. If that comes true, I'll be more than happy with that. So
definitely
that would be a great return for me.
I've Richie down as a brace, so if he scores 2 tomorrow, I'll be texting you. Hopefully he doesn't score, wind up. But Mia, thank you very much for your time this evening. Go and enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll speak again soon. Come on,
I'll speak to you soon. Come on, you Spurs.
Nice one, Mia.
Everyone, please get over, show Mia some love over at Spurs Between the Lines. Very hard to do content on YouTube, and she's absolutely smashing it, putting out regular content for you guys. So please get over there and smash that subscribe button and show her the love that she deserves. We have Tottenham forever, and if I remember correctly, this is Rhino. Good to see you, Rhino. Hopefully you're keeping well, my man. And great to see you, buddy.
Thanks for grabbing a membership.
Give me a text one of the days next week. Yeah, give me a text one of the days next week. Check in with me and let me know how you're keeping, and really appreciate the support, brother. Bobby G, how's your commentating coming along? Dave, 3 p.m. blackout tomorrow, so I have to watch along with you. Yes, it's very irritating. It's not being showed on live television tomorrow. It's a good job, but that Jack is in the USA, and they have fantastic streaming services for the games over there tomorrow, so your boy will be able to watch it. Commentating, look, you know what you get from me and Jack. At the end of the day, I don't think we're ever going to change. It's just sort of natural reactions. We don't want to be Scottish Sports or anything like that. We want to be our own people. We do it in our own way, and hopefully you enjoy that, my man. But we'll do a good job. We'll entertain you. I think usually 400 or 500 people get entertained on match day, so hopefully you'll be one of them, Bobby, my man, Jack.
No, I was going to echo the exact same thing. I think we do it in our own style, more reacting than it is commentating. But if you can get any sort of sense of how the game is going by our reactions, hopefully that's what we're able to deliver for you. Because maybe our reactions will probably give you a sense of how the game is unfolding. But big up, Bobby. And hopefully you pick us for your watch-along needs tomorrow.
You'll know straight away anyway. If you tune in and me and Jack look angry, you know what the score is. And if we're smiling our heads off and we look like we're on top of the world, you know we're winning. Bobby K, big up, my man. Says long overdue super chat for you, lovelies. Big up, chat. Bobby K, didn't need to do that, my man. Really do appreciate that. Really do. And everybody, you know, get over and check out his channel as well with the two kids over there. And, you know, they're doing their content there, you know, weekly after games, rounding up the Premier League and stuff like that. But big up, Bobby K. Really appreciate that, lad. Really do. Who else have we got in here? Where else have we? We've got Paul Markey. He says every player's performance drop when Skip comes on the pitch. They're nervous and don't trust. Do you know what, Paul? I'd say Skip's family hates you. I'd say the whole family hates you, Paul. You know, because you're always on his case. Look, I absolutely get it. I'm one of them as well. I actually, you know, I went early with you last year. The back end towards last season, it wasn't very popular. I got a lot of pelters. I almost took the fire for you, Paul Mark. You actually owe me one on that, my man. But look, thankfully, we're getting our full strength midfield back, so hopefully we won't have to see. Hopefully, it'll go back to where we were the first 10 games, where he didn't really make much appearances, Jacko.
No, definitely. And he felt he had to follow up with the super chat, even saying by every player's performance drops when Skip comes on the pitch. When Skip comes on the pitch, especially on the right side, nervous and no trust of him. I think when Skip comes on, there is sort of, here's the thing, like when he receives the ball in possession, he doesn't have the technical ability to play some of the passes kind of through spaces, through little tight areas, or just has that extra second on the ball that other midfielders in our team do. It's maybe because of his touch, also because he doesn't really know what he's going to do with it before he receives it, maybe as much as other players do. It's just Skip does have that tendency to not be able to always break the lines of the opposition midfield on a regular basis. Like I'd say Bentancur, Bissouma, Potmatsar, Højbjerg, pretty much the whole lot. There's a big difference between himself and the rest of that team. But also it's just kind of on a technical level, like he's just not nearly as good as the rest of the players. I think no matter what you think of Højbjerg, I think even Højbjerg sort of has much better technical skill on the ball than actually than Skip does. And I wouldn't say Højbjerg's even close to being the most skilled player on the ball in this whole team. That's what sort of says a lot. But I think there is a huge gap between them. And then Skip at recent too, like hasn't had that defensive edge that he used to. He used to also be a really good tackler, used to win the ball back for us, and just haven't seen it as much this season. He's probably been one of the worst players of this season, in my opinion, Paul. But that being said, I'd say the last two games, he's not been as bad as what we would expect of him. So it's a funny one with Skippy, where if you're going to pick a time when he's played better, I would say these last 2 or 3 games, he's played actually a lot better than what you or I have probably been used to. Not saying that's worth keeping around or anything, but he has been a little bit better these past 2 or 3 games.
Absolutely hear you on that one, Jack, but I do feel like we're guilty of lowering the bar of acceptance for Skip because he's homegrown and people want to do well. If that was a Højbjerg or a Bentancur or someone that put in that performance, they'd be saying, what did he do all game? But I don't want to go too far on one side with Ollie Skip, because I do fear there's a situation, Brew, that was very similar to Japhet Tanganga. Because he's homegrown and we know how crucial that is, and ours is an absolute mess in terms of squad registration, I have no doubt he's being kept around as a bit of a pawn right now. Would he be happy to? Of course he would. You know, I think he'd be happy to be at Tottenham. He loves the club. He's a Spurs fan, right? But for his own benefit, I would say sooner rather than later, he needs to get out on loan for 1 season, and then we need to make the judgment on him, because he's nowhere near technically as good enough as even Højbjerg, who I would argue is levels above him technically, but there's others in the squad levels above him. You know, he shows a lot of energy and stuff like that, but he needs to add more to his game. And I feel like that injury sort of hampered his development. And I do think he needs a low move, but I would be weary of our Spurs keeping him around here, using him as a homegrown pawn, because let's not forget a couple of seasons ago under Conte, Tanganga had a loan move lined up to AC Milan and the club wouldn't let him go because they needed to keep him around there for the own status for the squad registration. So, you know, I'm not going to grate on Skip too much if he is kept around here, because I am aware that, you know, these situations do happen at Tottenham Hotspur until we get the homegrown situation sorted out. But I agree with you, he ain't good enough right now and he needs to improve drastically. My man. Yeah, big up Paul Markey. Really appreciate that. I'd say, you know, I'll probably rock up the game one day and Skip's family will be there with Paul Markey's face with a big red, line through it and a circle around it. Big up, Paul Markey. Good to see you. Big up, Phil Coyes as well. Good to see you, Phil, my man, where have you been? I think this is that boy. Where have you been? You haven't been on to speak to us in a long time. Let me know how you're keeping, and hopefully you're keeping well, buddy. And also, John Fitzpatrick, how are you? And the young family taken to life down in Limerick. Not the easiest of counties to settle in, by the way, but hopefully you're keeping well, my man. But look, let's crack on.
Philly. Big up to Killian Kenny as well. Big up to so many of you in the house. Andy's joining us.
Haven't seen this in bloody ages. How are you keeping, lad?
Big up, man. Good to see you in the house. Good to see you in the house. Yeah. Appreciate you tuning in. Big happy Friday to you.
Whenever I see his name, it reminds me of them new Philly steaks. You know, the steak sandwiches with the cheese and all out the end. Absolutely love it. And then we also have Neil Hughes. Thanks for the gifted free month's membership. Big up, you guys. Love the channel. They both should start. Yeah, that's in relation to Title Son and Bissouma. Look, it wasn't us that gifted it. It was Davy Shire or Nick. So big up one of them in the chats, my man. And look, hopefully you use it one time. Come and speak to us, interact with us in the community section on the channel. And welcome to the community, Neil. Big yourselves up. But look, let's keep this show on the road. Let's keep it moving. Let's get on the Tron, because I know he wants to get off early to go and have a nap, because he will be at the game tomorrow and he'll be leaving on his travels at 2 a.m. in the morning. Dermo, how are you keeping, sir?
I must be an absolute feckin' lunatic. 2 o'clock in the morning. Get a flight over at 20 to 7. Leave Dublin. Get into London Heathrow about 8:15, and then take my nice leisurely underground down to King's Cross, and then go for a bite to eat, and then go into Five Guys. So I remember going with you guys there after we had our famous drinking in that pub down near St. Pancras. And I'll tell you one thing, I've never seen burgers or chips as big as you get in Five Guys, so I'm definitely going there.
Do you know what, though? I have my problems with Five Guys. I don't think it lived to the expectation that was put on it.
Now, look, there's one actually up in Liffey Valley. There's a Five Guys up there now. I haven't seen one in Ireland. It's the only one I've seen in Ireland, so I can't wait. And then I'll take a nice leisurely walk down to the ground, going to the club shop tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
We're going to solve your problem for food there tomorrow at Tottenham Hotspur. There's loads of people here that go to games or live around the area. Put in the chat, where does Dermo need to go for his pre-match meal tomorrow? Let us know. Recommend a place in the chat. And welcome in DB and K32 as well. Good to see you, my man. Yeah, hopefully you're keeping well. You're good in the hurling. That's one thing I will give you. You're absolutely brilliant in the hurling, my man. Great sport, by the way.
Let's get one thing back. Wexford's the best county in Ireland by far.
No, it's not there.
Don't start in this now, Dave. You know, look,
your strawberries and washed.
We have now linked up with Waterford. We've now linked up with Leitrim, because we're now called Water Wexstrom. So with 3 counties are coming to one. We're coming for Kildare next. We're going to take it over.
So you're riding on the coattails of other counties. Great to know. But Dermo, my man, come here. Game tomorrow. Are you excited?
I am. I really am excited. I can't wait. I think we have to show some momentum now with these next 3 home games, because they're important. If we can get 9 points out of 3, 9 points, it'd be a great momentum to take us into our away games, which I think is one home game out of 6 away. So, which is, important. Luton beat them 4-2 or 4-1. So Brighton do concede goals. So it's important that tomorrow we turn up, and we turn up with the right attitude, turn up with the right enthusiasm, that we're going to go out there, not play for 45 minutes, play for 90 minutes, and really take it to Brighton. Because I think if you attack Brighton, they are vulnerable at the back. I don't think they're as strong as everyone thinks they are. When you sit off Brighton and let them play, that's when Brighton are dangerous. They have players that can hurt you. So we've got to go out there tomorrow and show, from minute 1 to minute 90, close them down, attack them, close them down, keep 1 men who we're marking. Don't give them room to move. And I'm looking forward to seeing Evan Ferguson tomorrow, see how he gets on, and give him a little close eye on sort of an Ireland side of things. But I'm looking forward to seeing him play tomorrow as well.
My new Harry, my new Evan. Make sure you get me signature there, Mo, please. Absolutely.
I'll get him a bit of hair for you. You can DNA it into your little lab.
Look, you know me. Yeah. I've got Harry Kane's fan, so and his predecessor would be nice to have in there as well along it. But look, I agree with you, Dermot. I think aggression is the key tomorrow. Aggression in the press,
Yeah.
you know, don't allow them to play out like they did, but also aggression in defence. Last time, we allowed them to run at us, and, you know, they sort of, they got their rewards from it. So I think aggression is absolutely key. But look, you know, last time out, we didn't have Van de Ven, we didn't have Romero, we didn't have Sarr, we did have Sonny, but we didn't have Sarr in that. How much of an impact do we think that they're going to have on the result compared to the one that happened in December?
I think having Son back is a bigger impact on us than Sarr and Bissouma. I think we've really missed Sonny. We missed him against Man City. We've missed his leadership. We've missed his quality of what he does on the ball. Nobody else can do what Sonny does. And he's been a fantastic captain this season. His leadership, he remains respect on the pitch of the players, if you know what I mean. And players do not want to let Sonny down because Sonny doesn't want to let us down. So it sort of breathes through the team. Let's not let down the fan. And I feel the standards have dropped since Sonny's left. So I hope Sonny starts tomorrow. I really do. And I think we've really missed him. Bissouma, no, I don't think we've missed him as much. Papa Sarr, we've really missed in the midfield. I agree with you in that because he links it all up together. Him and him do link well together. But I think Sonny, I'm so glad he's back tomorrow. And I feel really sorry for him. He didn't win the Asia Cup. I'm really that if anyone deserves a winner's medal for the international team, Sonny should get one. Because I think this might be Sonny's last chance. And how could they lose to Jordan? Of all, I mean, and Jurgen Klinsmann is a crap manager, by the way. I would agree with you on that. He did useless at USA. He's not done very good at Asia, and the people wanted him Tottenham manager. Oh Lord!
What is sort of nice about the Asian Cup and the AFCON Cup is just the fact that it's gone completely opposite to what probably the original expectations would be for most teams and where they would expect to finish and everything. So in a way, there's a bit of an entertainment in that. On the midfield, Dermot, you said we're not missing Bissouma nearly as much. Just to push back on that slightly, Mia just brought up earlier that Bentancur hasn't been playing as well as he should be. Perhaps drop Bentancur for Bissouma to come in.
Look, I wouldn't drop Bentancur because I feel when he came back from his first injury, he came back flying. I think the second injury's knocked him. Whatever reason, knocked his confidence. It's knocked something out of him. But I feel if a player's got no confidence, you can't just drop them. You got to let them play them out. Let them play their confidence back, if you know what I mean. And I think that's what Ange would do. He would tell Bentancur, right, I'm picking you. Prove to me why I should keep picking you. And let him get his confidence back. Because if you drop a player in low in confidence, it's going to drop his confidence even more. So as much as Bissouma has been good, and I will, apart from the dive at Luton, which I totally think was, I won't forgive him for that. I just think Bentancur needs to be kept playing because Bentancur can change a game in that midfield. And I feel him and Papa Sarr can link up really well together. It's all about confidence. And it's like anything. If you lose your confidence, even doing YouTube or presenting, you got to keep doing it to build your confidence up again. And I think you got to keep playing Bentancur because if you drop him, that's going to affect him even more. And that's going to drop him in lower confidence. So as much as I agree with Mia on some things, I don't agree on that one. I think I would pick Bentancur tomorrow. I'll bring Bissouma on after 70 minutes or something like that. He has got malaria. He's just come back off the AFCON. So he's maybe not be fully fit. So he's going to need a week or so to get back into the training of Ange's football and the way we do things at Tottenham. So he's going to need a game or so to get back into the swing of things. So no, stick with Bentancur tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know, just on that, I would stick with Bentancur tomorrow, but if it's another poor shot, I do completely disagree. I'll drop him for the next game. I think, you know, we can't fall into this pattern like we've done with players before, or you got to play them into confidence. I disagree with that. You know, you take them out for their own sake and you dip them in and out until they find that patch of form again.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I think I do agree with you on that because we have fallen into a trap where the likes of Skippy or Højbjerg, may I say, that they haven't played well, and we've kept picking them. Skippy, for me, should not be picked again. I think Skippy is not Tottenham. I think he'd be good at Championship level or a lower Premier League level. Højbjerg, as much as I love Højbjerg, and as much as I think he has played well in some games he has let us down when he's not thinking or not concentrating. So I do agree with you on that, Dave. But for tomorrow, I think we'll stick with Bentancur and stick with the Mironov, the same team that played the last game, with Sonny in, of course, and drop Johnson to the bench and let him come on then for 10, 15 minutes.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'd actually start Sonny. I think we have to start Sonny. I think he's a huge miss. I really do. But Dermo, Richie, is he going to keep his rich vein of form going tomorrow? You know, he's the guy that stepped up without Sonny here. Are we going to see a better Richie with Sonny now?
Your least favorite player?
I do you know what? I will hold my hands up and say I was wrong. I will hold my hands up and say I was out of order. I was wrong. I criticised him, and maybe I was right at the time, but 9 goals out of the last 8 Premier League games, he's rarely stood up when Sonny hasn't been there, and his work rate off the ball is immense. If you watch him, he never stops running. It's like from minute one, like Sonny does when Sonny's playing. Sonny never stops running. So look, I think you may see a different Richarlison now. I may see, and why I say that is because A, he paid for his own mental health problems when he had to do that. He didn't expect the club to do it for him. B, he got himself fixed out of his own time as well. You know, the club didn't have to do all this for him. He gives 10% of his wages to charity every month. And not a lot of people know that. I think it's an orphanage in Brazil. Richarlison, I feel, is one of these modern professionals, should be shown a hell of a lot more respect. And I apologise to all the Richie fans out there for showing him disrespect. I will not in future. Richarlison is a big fish in a big pond now. He's grown from a little fish into a massive salmon. And you know,
so I think on the pre-match. So are we going to see Dermot walking around the Tottenham High Road with a Richarlison number 9 on his back?
Yeah.
I think it's the only gesture you can do to make it up to him personally.
I think so. I think so. I think so.
Look, if Dermot wants to get on the train, the only option is I have to see him on screen with a jersey.
Yeah, okay. I'll get a jersey with Richarlison on the back. That's not a problem. I'll do that. I love Richie shithousery as well. I've always loved his shithousery. I've loved he's the type of Brazilian you want in your team. Because
now you're Brennan Johnson. Now your Brennan Johnson fan club has been revoked. Now that you're hopping on the Richie one.
Look, I think Johnson will come good in the end. I'm still backing Brennan Johnson. I still think, but Richarlison has proved to me I was wrong. So I admit when I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
But look, Darryl, you don't need to apologize. At the end of the day, when you lay criticism at a player store, that's all for me. Whatever I want someone to say, okay, give me that. I'll prove you wrong. Sorry, Jack, I got across you very rudely.
Now, last question from me here, Dermatron, before we have you plug your channel, and also we want to get you to bed nice and early so you're in fit and firing form tomorrow. Was it a 2-0 or was it a 3-0? Because when you gave us your prediction on the creator predictions, you changed your mind. You know, you said 2-0, then you just added a third, like it was, you know, just adding like an extra piece of candy or something, you know, to your little box there. It really is, you know, a big difference between a 2-0 and a 3-0. What are you really going for?
4-0. No, I'm going for a 3-0. I think it's a 3-0 tomorrow. I was saying 2-0, and in my head I had 3-0. And out camp 2-0 went, no, sorry, 3-0. So I had it in my head what I was going to say. No, it's 3-0. I just think we'll do it tomorrow. I fancy some seagull pie with a bit of mashed potato, a bit of peas, a bit of vegetables, a bit of gravy, and then wash it down with a lovely bit of seagull jelly and ice cream just afterwards, just to finish that meal off lovely. But yeah, 3-0 tomorrow. I think we're going to come out fighting. I'm yet to see a score or win at the new stadium. The first game I went was a 2-0 defeat. Wolves, you were there that day, Dave. The second game, which we should not mention, was that ball fest of an AC Milan match where the players actually didn't bother coming out onto the pitch. They sent a load of dummies out instead. And your man Harry Kane didn't do nothing for the whole game either, apart from the last minute.
Only scored 200 and something odd goals for the club, but no, he didn't do anything.
No, he didn't do nothing against AC Milan, to be fair.
He didn't do anything at all.
No, he did for the rest of the 300 and something goals, but that game he took a night off. So I'm like, it's like waiting for an American bus Greyhound to come along. You're at New York Station, you wait forever, and then 3 all turn up at once. So that's my thing. That's my motto tomorrow. 3 goals.
I'll ring you tomorrow. I'll ring you tomorrow when you're at the stadium. You'll be 5-0. But anyway, Dermo, where can
I'm in
people
the North
find
Stand,
you,
by the way. I'm in the North Stand tomorrow.
Love
Nice.
it. Love it. Just quickly, while Dermot's plugging his channel, everyone, put in where Dermot needs to go for his pre-match meal along Tottenham High Road tomorrow. The spicier, the better. So let us know in the comments. But Dermot, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find, of course, me on THFC till I die. I'm home of Tottenham past, present, and the future on the ranch, Postacoglu, where you find me and Philip talking everything Tottenham. We've got Newsbeat every day at 4. We've got 10 of the best is coming back this week as well, next week. With the best, me and Philip are going to pick our 10 best foreign players that come into the English First Division and Premier League. So we're going to kind of get it down to our top 10. We've got watch-alongs. We've got loads of stuff for the members. We've just now got a new official partner on the channel as well, which I'm absolutely over the moon with. So that's all kicking off. And we've got loads of new graphics and everything kicking off in the next couple of months. I want to thank you all for your lovely birthday messages as well. And all your messages. I haven't been too well this week. So thank you for your kind messages as well. And also, looking forward to tomorrow. And give a like and subscribe to these guys above the number 2 Spurs fans in Ireland.
No. Happy birthday,
Do you know what?
Dermatron.
Just
Great
'cause it's
call
your
as always,
birthday
brother.
Just because it's your birthday week, I'll let you run with that.
Thanks.
But Dermo,
And
big yourself up, my man.
yeah.
Go and enjoy yourself tomorrow.
I will. One more thing, and Ireland are back. We're going to beat England and Greece. Come on, you boys in green. We can do it. If Dave's not confident, deluded, Dermatron is. So don't worry. I'm your guy. If you want delusional Spurs and Ireland thoughts, you know where to go. Come over to THFC till I die. That's where delusion.
I appreciate that, John. Big yourself up, my man, and you enjoy yourself tomorrow.
I will.
I want to see you walking around with the Rich Harrison jersey. Have a good day.
I will send you a picture. Once I get it, I will picture the pair of you. I'll show you. I will show you once I got it.
Good man. If he doesn't score, then you're not allowed to wear it again. But Dermo, we'll see you again soon
tomorrow.
I'll see you soon. Come on, you Spurs.
Big
up, Spurs.
Come on.
Big up, Sean. Guys, if there is anyone going to the game and wants to meet Tron tomorrow, he's a few hours to kill. Get in contact with him. He's a really, really nice guy. So get over to his channel as well and check him out on THFC till I die. Great content over there as well. Always keeping you updated and informed. So follow the Tron over there. Big up, Liam. Good to see you, my man. Hopefully you're keeping well. He's saying to Dermot, it's got to be a beehive. Okay. I don't think I've had that out there, and I've been over there. I might try that the next time I'm over for the North London Derby. We also have K32. Congratulations last week. I mean, honestly, did anyone see the flirting between the reporter, the photographer, and Odegaard at the end of the game? It's absolutely embarrassing, and that's why they ain't going to win it. They've already blown their casket. They think they've already won it. They don't realize now is the time to dial in. Go on that run. I already see problems coming. They ain't going to win it. They already think they have won it. It's an absolute joke.
You should have taken a photo with the photographer after they lost to Fulham at home and to West Ham. That would have been actually nicer just to, keep it consistent, after every game, no matter the result. He takes a photo of the photographer and he takes a photo of an empty stand as they lose 2-1 to Fulham at home. So maybe you should have done that.
I don't think I've ever seen a football club that much
they really do over celebrate. As much as I don't care about the celebration police, as much as I don't care about being celebration police or anything, they do push me towards celebrating, towards being a celebration policeman. They really do push me towards it. It is sort of shameless at a lot of occasions. You'd like to think that they've been there before. You want to see that sort of reaction. Yeah, we've been here before. We've won in this sort of manner, but they really don't. They celebrate it like it's the first time they've ever won, a late winner of any kind. It's definitely pretty amazing to see.
Yeah, they're extremely embarrassing. But look, it's good signs. We know they ain't going to win the league now. After that, they already had their celebrations last week. Big up P-Dubs, that he is. Hopefully you have a great day, my man. Shame I won't be there, but hopefully you have a great time. Jack is good fun as well, so hopefully you have fun. Look, I'm all over barbecue as well, Liam. Don't worry about that. I don't discriminate when it comes to food. I like to try a bit of everything. We've got El Cock around member for 4 months. Keep supporting the channel, guys. And one should check their phone before type a message. Big up, lads. What was it? I'll have a look in a second. But when I'm looking at it, I don't see anything from you, my man. But I'll have a look back in a minute and see if you did message me.
Who's lying? Figure out who's lying. Is it Dave or is it Jose?
Yeah. I'll figure out now in a sec. But big up, Jose, my man, and keep coming with them predictions, by the way. Absolutely love them. Big yourself up. And good to see you in the building, my man, and thank you for all the support, as always. Right, shall we keep it moving? What we got
Keep it
next?
moving.
Is it Shawnee?
Time to break it down with Jonny. Let's see what he has to say.
Let's get him on. Shawnee, my man, how's
Hey,
things?
Sean.
It's going well. I dug out my old Under Armour kit from the 12-13 season.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Showing off the years of pain that also probably happened in between that 12 and 13 season.
They were pretty rough in that post-Red Nap era.
Definitely rough indeed.
I mean, we lost Bale and Vandervaart, who were two of my favorite players, and we didn't fully replace them. But,
Villas-Boas era. Well, speaking of maybe Villas-Boas, we always found a way to finish inside the Europa League. Where are Spurs finishing in the league this season, Sean? So many times, we probably said, feels like we should finish inside the top 4. Do you think Spurs have a chance still finishing inside the top 4? Should they finish inside the top 4, do you think? There's a bit of a gap between us and the rest.
I mean, I don't think Villa will sustain that form. We've already seen a few games where they're struggling a little bit. I think the real question is just whether or not we kind of get it into gear and finish in third ahead of Arsenal, or if we're behind them.
Mm-hmm.
But again, even if we're in fourth place behind Arsenal, if it's somewhat competitive, considering this is our rebuild year, it's hard to be too mad.
Yeah,
finishing below Arsenal, but again, new manager in, Harry Kane out of the club, everything kind of in transition. I think that's where we need to keep thinking a little bit about the perspective of this season. Is the beginning of the season, if someone offered us 5th place, we would have snapped at it right away and just been like, okay, we'll take 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why we can be mad too much at this point, especially considering how bad their injury issues have been all season.
No, I think you're absolutely spot on. And someone I was on the phone before I came on here, and someone sort of only reminded me of that. And I was like, I get it, but it's just frustrating because I just want to win, and it's sort of like things haven't been happening lately. But you're absolutely spot on. When you take sort of the whole season in general, where we were coming into this, we are absolutely flying in that regard. But you're speaking about Arsenal like we can't catch them. We're only 4 points behind them, Shawnee.
I think we'll beat them. Again, Arsenal is still looking shaky, but again, my main concern is that midfield for us has not gelled. So again, I'm hoping that this weekend, maybe with Sarr back in the team, we can find that right combination, but we have not been able to have a consistently strong midfield past that first 10 games.
Oh, I'd agree. And is that sort of just the overall passing between them, kind of their positioning, their link up? What's kind of been going wrong, do you think, in the midfield?
It's weird because it changes every game, which I think is partially because we change the midfield every game, but we haven't quite found that balance of aggressive pressing along with possession ball retention. We're giving the ball away too cheaply in that midfield, and again, the midfield unable to hold onto that ball means we can't push the rest of the team forward. Again, I think in the way Ange's system works, that midfield is the most important part of the pitch, and a lot of those battles have been won and lost, and I feel like we've been losing the midfield more than we've been winning it in the last 2 months.
I think you're absolutely spot on. And, it's one thing that's become very clear to me, and including the 2 centre halves as well, because of how exposed they are. You just can't carry passengers. All right isn't good enough. They either are good enough or they're not. And I think one of the biggest problems we've had is the fluidity between them all, link-up play. With Postecoglou, they have to be able to cover a lot of ground. Technically, they have to be efficient. Sometimes they have to be able to play one touch. When you're introducing the likes of Skip, Højbjerg, stuff like that, it becomes very difficult to play that. But you know, when we had that midfield for the first 10 games, the old saying came true. You win the midfield battle, you win the game. Do you think that's probably been a massive part of our sort of slide or decline over the last 11, 12 sort of games, Sean? Is that midfield, because we haven't had the consistency of personnel like you alluded to?
I think that's massive. Again, we didn't have that strong defense until the last few games, but we saw even with those defenders coming back in, we still couldn't fully stop everything. So again, I think that's where we're seeing that this midfield is important. And again, I'm hoping that this weekend we can finally solve that puzzle. Again, I think my preferred midfield three would be Matters, Sar, and Bentancur. Although, again, if Bissouma plays, I don't think I'll be too disappointed because Bentancur's also not been fully in form either. But I also feel like Bissouma wasn't in form before he left. So, and that's the challenge, is that in some of those midfield positions, we just haven't had anyone in form. So it's hard to say that anyone specifically deserves that start.
No, I think you make a great point. I think, you know, everyone sort of forgets the sort of bad run of games that Bissouma had before he sort of left for AFCON. But look, I've heard a lot of people tonight sort of say, you know what, they want to see Bentancur over Bissouma. Perhaps maybe you tell us why that is. Why do so many people want to see Bentancur over Bissouma? What is it he offers us that Bissouma doesn't?
I mean, I think from what I've seen in the recent games, I just saw a slightly better work rate, and I think Bentancur has been slightly better in possession. In terms of that, again, my frustration a lot with Bissouma was it felt like the work rate had dropped off again before, and apart from the stupid red card. It felt like he wasn't putting in the shift, at least to the same degree. And I feel like Bentancur, for the most part, he's coming back off the injury, so he's not 100% fit. So we've had to take him out early a few games. But I still feel like I generally see a bit more work rate in there. Part of the problem is, again, without that balance in mid-three, there's not the coordination, which meant one of them or two of them working hard is kind of pointless if they're not working together.
No, absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. We've seen an example in Højbjerg was paired up with a Winks or that for a number of years. When you're not working together, how sort of an effect it can have on your game in general. But look, hopefully we can get to that level tomorrow, and hopefully we can dominate that midfield battle, because it's going to be absolutely crucial. Jack, you any questions for Shawnee?
Kulusevski has been brought up as a bit of an inconsistent, or not inconsistent, more anonymous player of the last few games. Would you agree with that, Shawnee, that he could potentially be dropped, or he's just not as much of a number one name in the team sheet of recent because he hasn't played as well? At least I agreed with Mia with what she was saying earlier, that he's had a few moments in recent games where he's been kind of lazy with some bad fouls or bad defending, giving away sort of bad free kicks to the opposition. Do you agree with that with Kulusevski?
Yeah, no, again, Ku's been out of form. Again, I don't think he's been our worst player in too many of the games, but he's not playing at the level that we were seeing earlier in the season. And we finally have some options. Again, I think if you were to objectively evaluate the front three that we've played in the last few games, the only guaranteed starter is Richie. Richie stepped up. He's been scoring goals consistently. Again, I think of the rest of the guys available, I would probably give Werner the nod next, as he's been the most productive outside of Richie in terms of chance creation and those assists. And then Son, before he left, had great numbers. He was playing well in the Asian Cup. So if he's fit, then I think you have to play him as well, because again, the other guys have not done enough to lock down a spot. So again, I'd probably put Son on the left and try Werner on the right. Again, I don't actually know how well Werner will do on the right versus the left. But again, I think other people have made the point that if they're struggling, just have them swap sides and try Son there. So again, I think they're probably the best three attackers. and we can rotate positions to some degree to figure it. And you want some fluidity anyways. They're a lot harder to mark if they're swapping sides and matchups, and that can create the confusion in the defense of, oh, wait, you aren't marking Sonny, etc. So I don't actually see too much of an issue. I just think they've been the 3 best attackers recently, so I think they deserve a chance. And again, there's plenty of time, so we can take guys off the bench for the first time that can really have that bit of an impact.
Where do we see Kulu more as an option going forward, Jonny? Is it off the right or is it down the middle?
I think he's looked stronger down that middle, but again, he is unique on that right wing, is that we get more hold-up play. So I think a lot of it depends on how Ange wants to play against a specific team or at a specific point in that game. Because again, I think that if we're in a game where we want to try and hold on to possession a little bit more, and we're kind of in that defending a little bit deeper, I would put Kulu on that right wing. Because he gives that out ball. And we've seen that plenty of times where we've launched it to Kulu alone, and he's been able to kind of hold it up, run toward that corner, and kill clock. But he's also been good in midfield. I just think with Matters potentially coming into form, I don't think he's as strong as Madison, and I don't think he's got kind of the same energy that we get out of Sarr that we've been kind of missing in terms of someone who covers quite as much ground as quickly.
Do you know, I personally agree with you. I think he is more of a winger, to me, than he is through the middle. I don't think he's as good as Madison. I don't think he can give you what Sarr gives you, and he's not a number 6. So for me, I think that was a period of needs must. But I do see his position in the squad going forward on the right wing. Saying that, he's been disappointed there the last few occasions. Every time the ball goes out to him, it's like he doesn't have the urge to make something happen, which all great wingers do. As soon as they get the ball, they come alive. It's like Kulu doesn't want to do it at times. Sometimes he takes the easy route out, and maybe it is coming down to a bit of laziness on his behalf when you look at some of the goals that he's helped us concede lately. The push against Everton there on the weekend, the penalty that he gave away, against Brighton. It's sort of like, I don't know what's going on with him, but I definitely agree with you. I definitely see him, more as a right winger in this squad. Although I would like to see him on the left, see what he can do out there. Jack, have you got maybe a last question for Jonny?
Do you see this? Do you see there being a scuffle in this game? It feels like the last sort of Brighton games have been a little testy between the 2 teams, right? There's been some dugout fights.
If Richie is on the pitch, you always have some shithousery potential. Again, nothing brought me more joy than Richie throwing the darts in celebration after that 3rd goal in that game. But again, and Romero can definitely get into it. Porro loves a little bit of shithousery as well. So again, I think it depends a little bit on how much they antagonize us. But again, I think it's really more about being able to kind of manage that shithousery. Again, I think that's one thing we haven't done as well this season.
We lose our heads.
We lose our heads because my favorite player for a while was always Lamela. He knew how to kind of be that shithousery, but he didn't lose his head. He could keep his cool and calm it down when he needed to, but he would rile up the other team. I remember he got Martial sent off when won like 6-1 against Man U. And again, it's that ability to kind of rile the other guys up without losing your own head.
I agree with that, actually. And I'd say that we have some players that are some pretty hot-headed, like guys that like to get into these sort of scuffles and things like that. But do they really keep their composure in it? And are they the sort of victors in sort of the mental games every time? Probably not. I'd say, there have been moments where we have lost our heads. I'd agree with that for sure.
So I think just about keeping our heads while playing kind of that mental battle. And again, I think with kind of the leadership coming back into the team, I do think that that'll help a lot of having guys on the pitch who can kind of get those guys' heads back into the right headspace.
And then also, Shawnee, I wanted to maybe have you take this one with us from Davy Shire. Says, love me. Is it a Weber barbecue or a Weber barbecue? I know. I do know what they look like. They're very nice barbecues. And beers on a 40 Celsius days. Come on, you Spurs. 40 degrees Celsius is over 100 degrees, by the way, for anybody who needs to know. In Fahrenheit, so nice and hot. What's the ideal sort of Spurs, watching day for you? Is it at the pub, Shawnee? Is it maybe out having a nice Barbie with Davy Shire here and some beers? What's the ideal day?
I think it depends a little bit on the time of year and what time the game is. Like, again, I think I kind of get a lot of my game kickoffs are kind of in the morning. So it'll usually be some breakfast and then watch the Spurs game. But I think like when we hit that sweet spot of kind of the 11:30 kickoff, and I can go down to the pub to go watch it with like the Spurs supporters,
nice
groups. Those are the best kickoffs.
All right,
when you can kind of get all the Spurs fans together. Although at the same time, that's kind of what we have with the watch along. Is
true.
That's what I love about it.
Good answer.
Except last week was way too. I mean that 7:30 game, like it's not as bad on the East Coast as it used in California. It used to be the 4:30 a.m. game, and that was rough. The 7:30 game is still too early to fully appreciate.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it. I wouldn't be able to get up at 7:30 in the morning and be bright-eyed and be able to watch a game and then analyze it after. I just wouldn't be in that right frame of mind at that time. So fair play to you guys. The dedication is unreal, and sometimes you've got work to go and do after a full day's work. So the dedication is absolutely real. But Shawnee, big yourself up, my man. Appreciate you as always. Thank you for giving up time in your working day. We'll let you get back to work so you don't get sacked, my man.
No, I should be fine. I work for the government, so we don't do anything anyways.
But give me a big come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Nice one, Shawnee.
Big up, Shawnee, my man. We'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Big up, man.
See you. Oh, great call from Shawnee. I love that guy. Very well thought out analysis and stuff like that. You never know where the conversation is going to go. I absolutely love it. Jack, what's your favorite sort of barbecued food? Forget about the equipment. No one cares about that. That's just the means to the end until the good stuff is ready. I mean, what's your favorite sort of barbecue food?
If I were to go super specific on something, I'd say there is a Mexican type of barbecue called like a barbacoa, which I believe is I'm not sure if it's brisket, but it's a type of beef barbecue done specifically by Mexicans that is just to die for. It's probably one of my favorite cuts of meat. I am a big brisket guy in general. I like a good pulled pork. I'm sort of in that kind of mold. I mean, the sausages I'm all right with. I'm not like the biggest fan of the sausages. Chicken, like if it's a good chicken, I'll have it, but I make plenty of chicken for myself all the time. So it's not really one that I'm always shooting to get. So Dave, for me, it's really brisket and a nice pulled pork.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't mind a bit of pulled pork. For me, it's all about the chicken, preferably off the bone, fillets only. Absolutely love it. That's where I'm at. You can flavor it up, do whatever flavors you want. I actually listen to Peter Crouch podcast. They always slag your man on it for being a BBQC or whatever they call him or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's absolutely hilarious. Davy Shire, if you don't get on it, my man, it's absolutely brilliant. They constantly have good crack over the barbecue, the slow rub, the slow and go overnight and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're a keen barbecuer, my man, I mean, if I'm ever in Australia, I'm a keen tester. So, I'll definitely meet up and have a taste of the goods, my man. Big yourself up. Just quickly, Jack, a nice beer to wash it down on a 40 degrees Celsius day.
I really like hot weather, actually, Davy Shire. I would love for it to be 30 degrees warmer than it is right now in New York. Personally, for me, I like a good, I wouldn't say 40 degrees Celsius, but around 37, 36, I'm all right with that, really, personally. Like, that's actually ideal for me. I like it nice and hot, and I'd definitely be enjoying some beers with you. It's also the time of year where I move away from the IPAs, get on something a little lighter, because if I were drinking IPAs, I'd probably be falling asleep right during the middle of the barbecue with you. So I'd definitely be drinking something a little lighter, but sounds lovely. That actually sounds like my ideal Spurs day. Bit of nice barbecue, beers out, lovely bit of sun, get a bit of tanning. I do sunburn quite easily, but I'll try my best to tan a little bit as well. Sounds like really nice with Derbyshire.
Do you know what? If we ever become, massive on YouTube, which we won't, but if we ever do, Jack, we might have our wish come true. Might be able to get the whole Irish Hotspur watch along crew together, all 300-400 of us, and have a big whopping barbecue and that. 40 degrees Celsius, I'll be honest. For me, that's alarming. I'll be inside. I'd have all the fans on, the blinds down, curtains pulled, as little as heat getting in as possible. I could not think of anything worse, Derbyshire. That's nearly desert temperature. No, that's not for me. But big up, Davy. But look, Jacko, let's keep this moving. Where are we going to next? I believe it's Donovan, is it? Or
no, it's actually the Daddy Larson. Daniel Larson's coming on next. Then it is the Donovan. And then it is Michael from Poland as the lineup.
Nice.
Daniel Larson's
and also big up Big T in the chat there as well. Good to see you, my man. Hopefully you're keeping well and smashing the tennis. But let's get on, Daniel. Daniel, how are you keeping, my man?
You know what? Fantastic. Better than ever, to be fair. Can you hear me?
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sounding good. Why are you feeling it even better than usual?
I don't know. I just said that because why not?
Glad you're in a good mood, Daniel. So what are you cooking up then tomorrow? Some seagull? Because I think we need a big win, right? Everybody's saying that Spurs need to go on a run. Can you envision a run? Like, are you confident enough that Spurs can go on a run, or are you maybe not as confident about Spurs right now?
No, I'm confident. I'm always confident about this Spurs team. No, especially Brighton, as I expect. I'm sorry, but Luton score 4 against them. Luton. If we don't score 5, I'm be unhappy, to be fair. Yeah, I'm sorry. Again, full strength team now. Destroy. I mean, they can't. They could score 2 goals, I guess. They always score goals. Brighton, it seems. But come on, no issue. And then to be fair, sorry.
No, go on.
I don't know a run, to be fair. I just saw Brighton. I don't know the rest of the run. I just know Brighton. I don't know. I actually don't know.
One team at a time. one seagull at a time.
Yeah.
Last time I said that to you, though, Daniel, where you were like, I need a win. I think it was the Man United game where you were kind of smelling blood ahead of that game. You were like, we need a win ahead of this Man United game. Would you genuinely say to me that, like, Spurs versus Brighton at home, it is a must win and Spurs just have to come out with all 3 points?
100%. 120%. Okay. This is unacceptable to draw. Even not draw, you gotta win. You gotta win.
I think Dave would agree with that.
Yeah.
Daniel, there's a lot of talk about what's our best midfield, what's our best forward line going into this game. I'm not even going to ask you to pick the defense or the goalkeeper. They pick themselves.
Yeah.
Who do you want to see line up in that midfield and forward line tomorrow, knowing that everyone's fit? You can even pick the Sanso. He's fit if you want.
No. I think Mathers, Sar, and Bissouma, I think.
Or dropping Bentancur.
I don't know. See, this is so hard. This is hard. But Bentancur's been poor recently as well. I think he needs rest. That's the only, because he just come, the injury he had. He looked really poor and sluggish and tired. So I'm a little bit worried for him. So that's why
Did he come back too soon, like Mia was saying potentially earlier? Like he rushed himself back too soon and is sort of still getting back into the thick of things?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, a little bit of facts, because he shouldn't have been back. I mean, he was way too early back, really. I mean, everyone was surprised how quick he was back. So that's the only reason. I want him to be, if he can be back to his full fitness and quality, my God, we have one of the best midfielders in the league, So it is a little bit I don't know the word. Scary. Scaring is the wrong word, but I'm just going to use it because I can't think of any other word. Would Bissouma, because he's been poor as well recently. So he has a lot to prove. Because the last, he played for us, he got sent off and he's been sent off and his quality dropped a lot. So yeah, he's got a lot to prove.
And I'd say him and Bentancur, we know how good they can be, but in recent times they played, both Bissouma and Bentancur, they're just not playing at the level we know they really are capable of.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, is it frustrating? Maybe is a strong word. It's just more kind of confusing because we just know they can play a lot better than they have been of recent. And Bissouma has not played for a long time, so maybe that's sort of a bit behind him. He's had a bit of a break, so there's that to consider. Whereas Bentancur has been playing more regularly of recent and just isn't playing like he was in that cameo like he had against Aston Villa. Like some people are still raving about that 30 minutes, right? That he had against Aston Villa. They were like saying it was the best midfield performance they've ever seen. And he's not been at that same level for whatever reason. So definitely need to fix that and find a way around that. Head of the front three, though, like Kulusevski, we've been talking about potentially dropping him ahead of this game, or some have been saying, right, he's kind of been underperforming. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, he has been underperforming. But it's again, it's so mysterious to me, this, because it's still like the numbers he's put out is still insane.
Yeah.
You know, and I just it's like you don't know what you think, and it's like, what do I don't know what to say, really. Because you drop him all of a sudden, oh, that's an issue. That's the thing about Spurs, especially Spurs, it feels like. Oh, you say drop him, and then of course, if we do perform bad, oh, why did you drop him? You know, it's kind of like that.
You can't
So it's
win.
like, yeah, exactly. Colin, it's like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. So,
do you think he's been a bit lazy though? Like, because Foggy Phone put it in the chat that he's actually cost us in 2 recent games with giving away that penalty from that corner kick, right, where he just for some reason just thought he could get away with that when he definitely wouldn't. And then also the free kick he gave away towards the end of the game against Everton that led to the goal conceded. Feel like he's getting away with being a tad wasteful or lazy or whatever the right word is.
Exactly. Thank you for reminding me, because I completely forgot. I was going to say the Everton free kick he led to their equalizer is the most laziest, brain dead decision I've ever seen someone do. I was ready to punch a wall. It's the most. I've never seen someone, and he's done it before against Brighton actually, when he led the penalty. He dragged the shirt, the most unnecessary thing. So he's done that. So that's something he seems to do regularly. So that needs to stop. So you need, I don't know, if someone has to have a word with him, or is that just him do something? I don't know. So because
do you know what? Do you know what I think it is? I think he hit the ground running with such speed with the goals and assists, and he was putting up Saka numbers for that first sort of, half a season that he was here and stuff like that. And, for a period, I think, he's had a bit of a drop off, which happens with young players, right? They go through these sort of inconsistent periods, and he's being compared to the numbers that he hit when he first came here, which I can understand. But when you actually look at his stats, he's got 5 goals, 2 assists in 21 games, which is actually, goal involvement every sort of 3 games, which isn't bad. I think if he gets that down to 1 and 2, I think people would probably stop talking about him a little. I'd also argue, I don't think the stats are referring on some of the chances he created. I remember against Luton, I think he put 2 or 3 chances on the plate for Richarlison, and he missed them. If these players take them chances, you're talking about different numbers completely for Kulu and probably having a different conversation. One thing I do agree with you on is that sort of defensive laziness has to stop. It's costing us. That does have to stop. I completely agree with that.
You're spot on, Dave, because he's on 2 assists, but according to like expected assists, he should have 5, according to the algorithm. So that would suggest that, based on like sort of the XG and everything, like he should have 3 more assists than he actually does. And then he's actually outperforming his XG when it comes to the finishing. So I think he's been a tad wasteful, to be honest, like when it comes to finishing sometimes this season. But according to some of the XG, which of course you can take with a grain of salt, but yeah, he's been actually outperforming in a few different ways. So sometimes a bit of a context is needed on that. I would just say, like, I feel like he gets guilty of maybe thinking he can be over physical. Like he likes to be a physical player. Like he likes to be pushed. He likes to push others. Like it seems like too, like he likes giving like a hard challenge on a player and then like throwing his arms up at the ref and being like, come on, man. And all that sort of thing. Just feels like he's been doing it at the wrong times, or he's been a bit guilty of being a bit lazy about it, where like he's just bowling over his man when he really doesn't need to. And then it just gives away a silly free kick that's just unnecessary. And it's just because I think he's a physical guy that likes, that sort of thing and just needs to control himself, I think, a little bit.
That's the Scandinavian in him. Yeah.
he just likes barreling.
That's Romero and Porro getting into it. That's what that is. Daniel, my last question for you, my man. With Son being back, does he slot back in onto the left wing, or do you disrupt what's going on at the minute and put him back up front?
Well, I don't think up front. No way. Because if you drop, Richie, if he gets dropped, that's the biggest disservice in the history of the sport, in my opinion. Right? Almost. Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Then his confidence is going to be what was have done. But I honestly think, even though that this is kind of like never going to happen, but I feel like he deserves a little break, to be honest, Sonny. Just, rest, complete rest, maybe get holiday, to be honest, because the amount of football he's been playing and the intensity and the mental, physical, the mental stakes, with the South Korea, all of that, being captain, also for the club as well. It's been probably going to take a lot out of him, I would expect. So I wouldn't see. This is what I'm scared about. If he starts tomorrow and he's performing poorly, all of a sudden, people are on him again, because how Spurs fan can be. They can be like, "Oh, well, what's this? Why he?" So that's what I'm a little bit worried about. So I
You're worried
start
about his state of mind. Then you're worried about where he's at in his mind.
Yeah. But I also think he's strong. He's very strong mentally, because I said the same thing about Harry Kane when he came back from the World Cup and he, of course, missed the penalty. And I thought, oh, that's him done. He's going to be shot. And then, of course, he did wonder for us. So I could be wrong, but that's just right now I feel.
Do you know what? It's a concern of mine as well. I think everyone's looking and excited to have Stone back because of the creativity and the goals. 12 goals, 5 assists so far this season. But if he doesn't hit the ground running, if he does take that time to sort of get over the disappointment with what happened with career and stuff like that, could be in a bit of trouble here. So we'll wait and see what happens in that regard. Jack, have you a last question for Daniel before we let him go?
Sure, Daniel. Will we be pigeon dancing tomorrow in unison, or will we be Werner on the dance flooring? Because I'd love to have both, or is it just going to be one or the other?
Yeah, both would be incredible. My God, I will do those all the time. But more likely pigeon dance, most likely. But I want Werner to score as well. I really want him to get a go up.
What's your score prediction? Tomorrow. And before we let you go, what's your score prediction?
4-1 to us.
4-1. 4-1. And actually, last one, since you are a chef of some kind, barbecue seagull, do you think you could pull that off?
No, seagulls, no way. You don't do that. But
what's your favorite thing about barbecue?
Barbecue. I love cow. I love cow.
Brisket.
That's my briskets. I'm not a big fan of pork, personally. Also love lamb. Lamb is probably the favorite thing I can do. So cow, lamb, and chicken, of course. Chicken is never good.
Not bad.
But pork, because pork you have to, of course, cook it wholly. Of chicken as well, of course. But lamb and cow you can do medium rare. Oh.
Yeah, true.
Delicious.
Well, Daniel,
okay. Yeah, I'm not. I just have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. But first of all, the blue card. I'm done. First of all.
Yeah.
I don't think how people realize how big issue this is. Is this actually decided? This is actually going to happen.
It is, Daniel. I can't believe it myself. I thought it was a joke, really. Dave and I spoke about it briefly to the members, and he and I just I wanted to limit him to one word because I could go on a 3-hour rant about how stupid it is, really.
Do you realize how many injuries? So 10 minutes they have to be, so they get blue card 10 minutes on the sidelines. What the fuck? So they have to sit down or jog up and down. They have to jog up and down the touchline. How many injuries are the players going to get, first of all? Muscle injuries. How many injuries is going to happen to every single player? I mean, I've never seen. I'm done. I generally can't believe this. I'm generally sick. Do they actually have brain cells? Do you actually have any fucking thing going on up there?
I mean, for me, it's just like, you can't even use the tools that you're given to try and aid you to come to the correct decisions, let alone, complicate it even more and throw more teams in there. But unfortunately, we're getting to the point in football, because everything's inflated because of wages, agent fees, transfer fees, everything else. They have to find more ways of making the game more entertaining to bring more people in to be able to keep this going. The best thing for football would be for the inflation to sort of cap itself, maybe cut itself a little down, and then hopefully we won't have to see any more of these stupid bloody rules being implemented in the first place. But
See, I
Daniel,
got red now. Oh my god!
I completely agree with you, my man. I completely agree with you. But big yourself
And just one
off.
last thing. Yeah, one last thing. Sorry. On the Ven, the Everton performance, best defensive performance I've seen
Unreal.
in so long, and of course, fastest player ever in the Premier League. What can you do?
Speedy Mickey.
And I'm so glad I'm the number one. There you go, fan club number one, because I said this about day one. So I'm just gonna keep raving about this guy till the day I die, because I'm the first one to ever say this great guy.
Van de Ven kit holder, I believe. I think you have a Van de Ven kit. Is that right?
Yeah, got the away kit.
Nice.
So now probably gonna use tomorrow. Yeah.
You should apply to become his private chef. Get all his dinners ready.
Yeah, actually, why not? There you go.
Send in the CV. Send in the CV. But Daniel, big yourself up, my man. Really appreciate your time, and we'll speak again very soon. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Thank you so much again. Lovely to do this on Friday. Can't wait for the game tomorrow. And you guys rock.
Thank you.
You guys are the best Spurs channel on YouTube.
Appreciate you, brother. Guys. I hope you have a good Friday, man. I hope you have a good Friday. Yeah. Go to bed nice and early. Not too many beers. Have the beers tomorrow. I know you've been working out as well. Maybe save a nice Spurs workout. And big up to you, Daniel. Appreciate you, sir. Great calls always.
We do well.
Forget about the blue card so you can sleep as well.
Yeah, forget about the cards.
I'm dreaming blue anyway. Thank you, guys.
See you, man. Have a good one.
Daniel, big yourself up. Pleasure as always. Great conversation. We'll speak to you again soon, my man. Let's go. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Daniel.
See you tomorrow. Oh, he's absolutely pumped. I absolutely love to see that. He is raring to go tomorrow. I absolutely love that. Big up, Daniel. Such a really nice guy as well.
Really nice guy.
He's a chef. Wouldn't mind trying his food. I'd say his food is delicioso. But look, where are we off to next, Jacko? We've got
Dirty Don time.
Donovan, are you there, my man?
Dirty
Donovan. We've got two left, everybody. We've got Donovan, and then we've got Michael to end off. And then we're all going to get an early night to get up early for the game tomorrow. But let's get on Donovision. Let's hear what you have to say. Big up, my man.
How's it going, guys?
Good to see you, Donovan.
Yeah, no, just took a break out here. I'm at the gym right now, so a quick little chat with you guys, and then I'm back to it.
Just quickly, Donovan, do you want to try and log out and log back in? There's a small bit of an echo. I'll hold your spot. I'll wait for you. So I'm just going to give Donovan 1 second there to let him log out and log back in. I know I used to have that problem on my phone, and that used to sort of at times. But while we do this, couldn't have came in at a better time. Just a harmless potato member for 3 months. Thank you, David, for all the gifted memberships. You legend. It's not me you need to thank, my man. It's the likes of Nick. Oh, Davy Shire, actually. That's who you're paying thanks to. How dare I think I'm the only Davy in the world. Big up, harmless potato. Big up, Davy Shire. Very kind of you as well.
It's the other big man, David.
There, guys.
It's the other big David out there. The David Army is too strong. Too many good contendants. Too many good representatives. Big up to you, just a harmless potato. Thank you for supporting the channel. I loved your name in the background, Dirty Don, earlier there, and you also called yourself the Canadian Don, Donovan. I liked that as well.
Yeah, I was feeling a bit ambitious this morning, I guess, and then my internet kept cutting out, so here I am.
Number one Canadian Don. Going into this Brighton game, this is a tough one. It feels like Spurs have a chance to go on a run here. Do you believe Spurs can go on a run? Do we have the materials to do it?
Oh, definitely. We got the minerals to do it. It's just the consistency, right? It's what Spurs are going to wake up on the day. I'm not too concerned about Brighton. I mean, it's only Brighton, lads. No, seriously, like they last 20 minutes they completely, it was they were shitting themselves, to be fair.
We say that, Donovan, but they outplayed us for nearly 70 minutes, 65, 70 minutes.
Yeah, but we didn't turn up, right? I don't know the excuse on the day. I don't know the excuse for the day. I don't know who our center backs were that day. I don't remember. But we showed that. Actually, I remember Davies was playing that day, so obviously Donovan wasn't there. And when our
Davies
team
and
showed
Romero,
up,
Davies and Emerson at centre back.
Yeah, there you go. Right. So at home with more than settled squad, everyone's getting back, but we got everybody back. We should be fine. I don't see Brighton. Like Brighton can turn up too, and they can turn over any team on their day, but we just have the quality. I think Son coming back. I think Timo's in a good run of form. So is Richarlison. I think everyone's coming together at the right time. So yeah, I'm not too concerned about Brighton tomorrow, to be fair.
And do you think Spurs are going to sort of have a similar attitude? Because they did. I agree with Dave. They did outplay us last time. So is there going to be a bit of revenge on some of the players' minds?
Oh, lads, I don't even know, man. Like now that I'm thinking about it, like whenever I'm in this attitude as a Spurs fan, it always comes back and throws it right in my face, right? So maybe I should play it the other way around. No, you all saw that clip of Arteta and Ivan Toney, hey, when he had his tweet on their board in their office, and he came out and said, I think Ivan Toney tweeted, great kickabout today with the lads after they beat Arsenal in the first game of the season in 2022-21. I think Ange Postecoglou is not going to go to that level of pettiness, but he's going to be like, hey guys, these guys gave you a walloping last time. And you guys came out for 10 minutes and damn near tied the game. Can you imagine what you do if you played for full 90 minutes? And Ange is going to do everything he can. Like he's going to bring their families into it. He's going to come on, go out there and play for your families, guys. Go out and play for your your money and everything. And I think righting our wrongs is not only just the right thing to do as a professional, but it's what winners do. It's like winners will go out and they'll always keep notes. Like you'll make the list. It's like Michael Jordan said famously, and I took that personally. Right?
Yeah.
So
I think Spurs should fall in that bracket with this Brighton team because they probably, Dave said it to the members that they might have probably given us the biggest humbling of any side actually this season. And so you then hope that it sort of is on the back of the mind of some of these players. Also because for me, Donovan, right, they could have really been in the good places of a lot of Spurs fans if they actually got all 3 points against Everton. The fact that they did sort of fumble it like that towards the end there, it was like, not only the revenge in mind against Brighton, but also the revenge in mind of actually seeing out a game and actually, finishing strongly and ending games in a strong way. And that's something Spurs have struggled with, right? We've been conceding goals a lot towards the end of games. We need to figure out a way to end games, strongly.
Yeah. Yeah. Not even just that, Jack, but get a clean sheet. I think it's been since October since we've had a clean sheet.
14 games.
14 games. And that's unacceptable, man. With the likes of 62 goals conceded last year, and then we're trying to improve on that. That's going to be a big thing for the recruitment team at Spurs to kind of right that wrong. And
it's definitely going to be. Yeah, sorry, Dave, go.
Yeah, no, it's 14 games, and we've conceded 27 goals across that period, which is not good. We're already nearly half of what we sort of conceded last year, and it is something that we need to figure out. But do you back this back four to be able to get back to some sort of level where they were at in the first 10 games? Because it's crucial. We've got two problems right now. We're leaking goals and we're not creating enough chances to kill teams off. So, the only ideal solution is getting back to keeping clean sheets. Do you back that back four to be able to get back there to do that?
Sorry, lads. But yeah, no, I totally agree with that. We have the talent to do it. And if we want to secure European football or even kind of any aspirations of pushing on to the next level as a club, offense wins you games, defense wins you cups and titles. And when you have the World Cup winner and Van de Ven at the back, and you had to carry on what Daniel Larson was saying there. Big up Daniel, by the way, if you're listening. Whenever I hear you, I'm on the treadmill, I'm just thinking it's like, think of good old Schwarzenegger pumping me up, got to the chopper. No, big up Daniel. No, but Van de Ven, 0.10 millimeters or meters less than Usain Bolt? Like that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I know stats have only been taken like the last 3 seasons, but still though, Kyle Walker's punch in the air when he sees that Van de Ven is the fastest player in all time, because Kyle Walker prides himself on that. So that's kind of like the thing I like to think about when I hear that. So
I think I heard something similar one year. It was like Erling Haaland was like running so fast, and like with how powerful and tall and strong he is, they were saying like, he would like basically like dent like a car, or like, he would something like, like he would trample like any 6-year-old or like something like that. Like he would send them flying if they got in his path. I just thought it was hilarious. Like the image of, just Erling Haaland and guys like Van de Ven, that strong, that powerful, that tall, and yet they are in fact, right, the biggest and the strongest and the fastest, most athletic players in this
see how long
Premier
the
League.
legs are on that guy. That clip of him sliding back against Brentford, man, he kicks up the whole 6-yard box when he's like full out flat. So how do you even get past the guy, right?
It looks like
maybe beat
actually
him.
most of the time with Van de Ven, like he's picking when to sprint at his fastest as well.
Mhm.
Like it looks like he's not even at top gear most of the time, because if he were to be sprinting at full speed, maybe it's almost too fast him being at full speed. Like he would struggle to turn or slow
To
down or
control
something.
that, yeah. It's good to see though. The main thing though is good to see he recovered well, right? And that's the main important thing, right?
Mm.
Like,
Do you know
it's all
what,
good
though?
being.
It's
What's up?
it's how he uses his speed as well. He uses it to great effect. He's got a football IQ, a football brain, which he uses his speed to put him in the correct positions to be effective, which is the most crucial. If you have speed, you have to have the football IQ to go with it, and he does.
Mhm.
And he's absolutely superb. I said it when I done the Welcome to Tottenham video. He could be a £100 million player by the end of this season, going into next season. And for me, he's already at that. Most clubs in the world be looking at, especially with the way football's going. High line seems to be more popular, possession based. A lot of big teams will come calling for someone like him, or be looking for someone like him. But it's all the other attributes. He's 6 foot odd. He's a Greek Adonis bestowed upon us from the Dutch gods. It's absolutely unbelievable, and he's so strong as well. He's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah,
I
like
often joke I'd love to send him to the Olympics over the summer to go and win a gold medal in the sprint.
yeah. Why
Just
isn't
keep him
he
fit.
sprinting or doing the 400 meters? Like the guy's an athletic specimen. And well said, David. Like Maldini was his famous words. Like if you went to ground, you've already lost a defensive battle. So be able to get yourself in the IQ, and he's young. He'll improve even more, which is crazy. So like that's just, it's scary to see. And it's not just Van de Ven. Like we got you, doggy. Actually, my Italian friend, every time I bring up Destiny, he always reminds me. He's like, "It's your doji." It's like you gotta like say it right. I was like, "All right, man, sorry about that." So Destiny, your doji, Van de Ven, Romero's only 25. Poro's still pretty young.
Yeah.
This new Viskovic. So yeah, the future's bright, and the future's lily white, as Mia likes to say. So.
Mm. Do you think there's, with that young team though, could that explain how in certain games we've lost our heads, or we're not getting always the most consistent of performances? Sometimes we're fading in and out of games. Could that do with a bit of naivete, or just the fact that we don't have like the most professional, like experienced of teams yet?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like even that class of '99 United, they didn't just come right out and win. It took a season to kind of get together. I mean, they did wonders the first year, but to become like the dynasty they did, it took a couple seasons and a couple transfer windows, not only to like gel, but to bolster that squad, because like it or not, you do need some seniority in that team. And I think we would have been a different team if we had Alexa Perisic, coming off on those games. I think Perisic there comes on to close instead of Kulusevski, and I think that Perisic draws a foul rather than gives it away. Little things like that. But just to go back to the Everton game, I don't know about you guys, but watching it, I didn't actually like. Again, being the Spurs mentality, like when you feel confident, that's when you're gonna get done. I didn't feel in the last 10 minutes at all like we were gonna concede, or if anything, I thought we were gonna go ahead and nick that goal. Like I was sitting back and had my Everton friend on my text ready to kind of give it to him, and then all of a sudden, Vicario. And that brings me to Vicario, man. Like that's 2 games now, once in the cup and in the league.
Yeah.
And you can argue the foul all you want. You can argue whatever, but it's no ignoring the fact it's happened twice. So if people are going to target that now, you have to address that. I remember Lloris used to be weak like that, but then we got a new goalkeeping staff, And then there was a good part of games there, like 8 months, where he was like the most dominant player in the box. He'd jump up and catch the ball, and he righted that game, part of his game. So if Lloris can rate that part of his game at 31, then I'm sure it's coachable into Vicario.
What they're actually doing though by sticking the man on Vicario is when that ball's being floated in, if you watch, they're leaning into Vicario, which actually stops him from getting a clear run to come out and punch it clear, which is what he wants to do. So it's about getting a player on him, putting him between the opposition player and the goalkeeper, get him to use his body weight, sort of push him out, which frees Vicario up to take a couple of steps, then to be able to come and sort of punch it clear or whatever he wants to do. It's actually very easily sorted. I'm surprised it hasn't been done on the training ground so far, being brutally honest.
I'm sure he's addressed it. Like, he's an international coach. He's won international titles. He's won multiple leagues. I'm sure he knows the dark arts when it comes to that kind of. I'm sure he's put himself, like, Harry Cool, go stand on the goalie, man, go rile him. Like, I'm sure he's done it himself. Like, so I if it happens again, then we have a problem. But you know, we have opportunities in life to make up for mistakes. And at home tomorrow, in front of the crowd of 60,000 Spurs fans, now it's time to put it together and go for a final push here, heading into spring, because we only got 12 games left, 16 games, 15 games around that mark, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know,
15, 16 games left, not a lot at all.
Take them in groups of 5. Take them in groups of 5, and then just see where we finish, guys. Because you know this squad is good, and if we're in a cup next year, that only adds more and more, like a new guy, a Ukrainian guy. It'd be great to see him play in Europe, right, or play in the FA Cup or something, right, and then get really have a good, solid squad where we can start rotating these players, and you know, I don't know.
Oh, look, I think coming into next year, the squad will be in a lot better place. I think the homegrown issue will be sorted out. You'll have a couple more players in from off the continent, you know, to boost their options. And then I also think you'll have a couple of maybe an Alfie Devine or a Phillips coming back from Plymouth, maybe beefing up the squad a little bit. Maybe a Donny being kept around, or a Tyrese Hall coming through, who's been really impressive lately. But Donovan, big yourself up, my man. But before we let you go, your score prediction.
You know, like I said earlier, I've said it 3 times, I'm not concerned about the game. So whenever I'm not concerned about the game and I'm thinking about easy 3 points, that's, you know, if I were to think about it, 3-0, you know, I'd like to say we'd get that clean sheet. Realistically, it'll probably be 3-1. Yeah, we'll get 3 goals. I don't think Son's going to start. I think we'll keep Sonny, bring him on in the 60th, 70th minute. If I was a manager, I wouldn't start him. He's played so much football in the last little bit here, and I don't want to sound spoiled for choice, but I don't think we need him in this game. I think Brighton at the back, or I don't think. Do you guys have the injury update on Eustapian if he's back?
Yeah, I think he's available.
Okay, so they do have a bit of pace on that side, but I think Timo has it covered, and even if Timo isn't there, Johnson can be there. Kulu's going to start. Sarr will be in the midfield, and have that back 4, and that should be more than enough. I think Sarr is going to come onto levels too. I think we're going to see Sarr really grow into his own. I think he's going to be that top 6 box-to-box player that, you know, Bentancur, almost the role of Bentancur, what he was doing last year for us, getting late in the box, getting those goals. And then we're going to see Sarr come into that position, and we're going to see Bentancur start pushing back farther and be a bit more conservative in his game. Yeah, let's just exploit that space they're going to leave him behind, especially at our home stadium. And if we get on them early in front of that home crowd, I don't see De Zerbi standing tall. Like, he's already making excuses and stuff in the media. You hear him saying, "Oh, if the transfer policy was different and I had better players, or whatever." Well, it's like, dude, you have one of the best feeder club systems and recruitment staff in the world. Like, I don't understand what you need more. I think maybe he was just salty he didn't get his big move this summer. And maybe he's brought that Brighton squad as far as he can go, as far as their financial limitations are. So maybe there's bigger fish to fry in his kind of mind. So let's take advantage of this, man.
An angry De Zerbi, a little spoiled De Zerbi. I like what you're saying there, Daniel. Very funny. Or sorry,
remember last year when he was like basically fighting, what was his name, Stellini, like at the prima donna, man. And I was actually a big supporter of De Zerbi. I actually rated him as a coach, but it's a good thing you have hindsight, right? And you can look a little bit over the year, right? Because that was
He's
wow.
one of them. If he's managing you, you absolutely love it. If he's not, you absolutely hate it.
They're the Richarlison of coaches, man.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Donovan, beat yourself up, my man, and we'll see you tomorrow at some stage. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you
big
Spurs.
up, guys. Come on, let's go.
Big up, Donovan. Appreciate you, man.
See
Great
you
call
soon,
as always.
Donovan. Great call.
Best luck in your workout as well.
Great call by Donovan. Really, really enjoy his calls. Really, really do. So big yourself up, Donovan. I guess we're down to the last guest of the evening. So let's bring him on. Let's hear what he has to say. It's our guy from across Europe in Poland. Michael, how you keeping?
There he is. Man? Hey, Michael.
You got boys?
Looking good. How are you?
What's up, Devo?
It's grand. I just remembered I asked you about it last week, Vescovic, to that Polish club. I asked you about it last week. So,
Polish league is resuming this weekend because we have a winter break, right? In the middle of the season, they just have a break for a month. So it resumes now. So I will try to catch the game. I think it's on Sunday. I think it's either tomorrow or Sunday. If I don't catch it live, I will try to catch it. Like first of all, I will see if he's in the squad, right? If he is, then I will catch the game. Otherwise, I don't really see a point of watching.
Try an update on how he gets on before Sunday night ends. Before I record my my loan report, because I have to keep an eye on him.
Funny thing also is that Radomiak play my city's team in May at our ground, so I will try to get the tickets and see him live. I don't think it should be an issue. We have like a huge stadium, even though like there has been a bit of a hype around going to the stadium recently. I still think I should be getting tickets quite easily. So I will try to go watch him live in May. But it's in May, so I know it's far in the future, right? But
that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome if you could, get to feast your eyes on him before any Spurs fans do. Tell us how good he is, because from what I've seen, I think he's got a big future in the game. But Michael, big game tomorrow. We've got the squad fully more or less fit. The only players missing are Solomon and Sessegnon. How much of a boost is this for our top four hopes? And how important is a win tomorrow?
So Solomon and Sessegnon. So basically, we have a fully fit squad, right? Because one of those guys we would never use, and the other one. Listen, I want to give Solomon a chance. When he came on against Burnley, I know it's Burnley, right? So let's not get our hopes too high. But I would like to give him a chance. But Sessegnon, basically, I almost forgot that he's part of the squad, right? So but listen, this is a huge game, right? First of all, we need to keep up with at least Villa, right? I know we aren't far away from the top, but I think at least what we should be doing is peeping Villa to fourth. I think, as a big six club, as a club with a lot of pride, we should be beating Villa to that place, right? And listen, they are already 3 points ahead of us because 2 points ahead of us, I think, because they won on the previous weekend, right? So that's one.
They didn't just win; they absolutely battered them.
Yeah, they battered Sheffield. Sheffield are, oh my god! Listen, I think
what's the late winner beat them?
It's one of the worst teams in the league, in my opinion, ever. One of the worst teams ever in the league, right? That Sheffield side. And it's nothing against Sheffield, right? I just think that they are woeful on the pitch. But listen, let's not talk about Sheffield, right? I think the second reason why we need to win tomorrow is basically we need to restore our pride, because Brighton absolutely smoked us last time we played them. Let's not beat around the bush with it, right? I know the final scoreline was 4-2, but basically it could have been 7-0 before we even started playing in that game, right? So I think right now this Tottenham that they are going to face at our ground will be a much different outfit than the one that they faced at their own ground. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Son wasn't on the pitch when we played Brighton, or was it his last game?
No, he was. He was. We didn't have Sarr. We didn't have Romero. We didn't have Van der Ven. I remember correctly. No Madison either.
Yeah, so basically, like the two center backs that we will have are key for me, right? Because as much as like I want to at least give a bit of praise to Davis and Royal for what they did during the Romero and Van de Ven absence, they got cooked that game, completely cooked, right?
Yeah.
And listen, one of the guys that did the cooking won't be featuring tomorrow, which is João Pedro, and I think that's huge, right? I think the Zerbi already confirmed that João Pedro is out, or I've seen news that he apparently like did something to his hamstring and he will be out for a couple of weeks, right? So I think that's a huge part of Brighton's attack. Like João Pedro, like he is a big talent. Let's not kid around the bush, right? I know there is like a lot of stuff that we shouldn't mention about him, but maybe let's dodge the stuff and focus on the football side, right? But yeah, he will be missing tomorrow. So I think I honestly think we should be the dominant team, and honestly, I think we have everything in our power to stop them from basically like making it dangerous for us, right? And I hope that listen, we need a convincing performance, right? Because even though I think in the last like 9 we lost only 1 against City, right? I don't think many of those performances were that convincing. Like I had a bit of that like Conte vibe of sitting on the edge of my seat and just waiting for something stupid to happen, right? And it happened against Everton. So yeah, I need a convincing performance tomorrow, right?
I'm with you on that. I've said it to Jack a number of times, over the last few, the last sort of 10 games and the watch-alongs. Even if we've been 1-0 up or whatever, we can't rest on our laurels because we know we're going to concede. We know something's going to happen. So I'm with you on that. I think I do need, a nice convincing win tomorrow to sort of try and rid, like when we've had to rely on the squad, whether we like it or not, there has been a downturn of results and performances and stuff like that. So we need to now try sort of rid that out of ourselves and push on to go for top 4. But Michael, we've got huge selections to make in the midfield tomorrow. What 3 would you be selecting to go at Brighton? Because for me, that's key. You look at their midfield, they press us nice and high, turn all over all game long. We couldn't get to grips with it, and we struggled to play out. So the midfield is absolutely crucial tomorrow. What 3 are you picking?
So yeah, one thing I also need to mention about the midfield, because I've seen people giving like a bit of slack towards Postecoglou for making a change and going 3 at the back, right? I don't think going 3 at the back was the mistake. I think taking off a midfielder to go 3 at the back was a mistake against Everton. I think with the advantage that we had with the scoreline, I think we made a mistake of basically giving up the midfield. As much as our front line has been performing quite well. Like when you look at the names, Werner, Richarlison, the guys that don't necessarily give us much confidence, right? They've been performing actually quite well, right? But one thing that I can say confidently is that they are bad at retaining the ball. Like all of them, even though Richarlison made massive improvements to his first touch, I still think it leaves a lot to be desired. I think Werner, his first touch and ball control isn't bad, but he's not the biggest guy, not the most muscular, all that stuff. So I think by taking off a midfielder against Everton, we basically allowed Everton to come back into the game. I think strongest part of Everton is their midfield. So I think us letting them just play freely there was a huge mistake, especially when you consider that we had Skip and Sar at the end of that game, right? So again, Skip is not the best at ball retention, right? So yeah, with that being said, I think we need to have a strong midfield that keeps possession of the ball a lot. I think the worst thing that we can do is either get transitioned on by Brighton or just lose the midfield battle, right? But I think we have players good enough to absolutely dominate that midfield, in my opinion. Especially Brighton still has a lot of injuries, right? They have talent there, but those are still kids. I think if you feel the midfield that I have in mind, which is Maddison, Sarr, and Bentancur, I think we can grasp the control. But I want to say one thing: I wouldn't be surprised if Bentancur sits on the bench and it's Bissouma, and I'm not against that. even though like before he went to AFCON, I said that Bissouma probably will need to like sit a couple of games out because of the issues that he had with like getting suspended. I don't think players should be let off that easily. So you basically make a fuck up, you get yourself sent off, put your team in danger. Even though we won the game against Forest, we missed him for the next 4 games and then AFCON, right? I think you should be responsible for your own action. But I think that Bentancur past like 2 or 3 games has not been up to standards. I think the injury caught up to him, and I think he doesn't look as sharp as he used to. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bissouma starts, and I wouldn't be against it if he starts, right? But I think just for the sake of it, I would probably choose Bentancur as a 6, Sarr as an 8, and Maddison as a 10 as my midfield.
You know, I'm actually not too concerned whether it is Bissouma or Bentancur that starts, to be honest with you. I'm in agreement on that. But my preference would be Bentancur. I do think Bissouma deserves to eat a bit of I don't think we should let him off that lightly, to be brutally honest. I think he should be made play his way into the team, being brutally honest. And it's not even to do with the sending off. I actually don't mind that. I wanted someone to leave something on Yates. It's just in terms of his performances for a long time.
He deserved that.
Yeah, that annoys me. So I think that's why, for me, I think he needs to play his way into the team. Jack, have you got another question there for Michael?
Sure. Kind of in this Brighton team, though, like it feels like there's been, I don't know, some scuffles between us and them. Like it's been kind of testy. I've seen some fights between the Zerbi. Yeah, I really am looking for a fight, Michael. So am I going to see a fight tomorrow between us and that Brighton side? I don't know. Like I'm not saying it's a rivalry, but it just feels like both sets of players as well as the managers don't seem to like each other.
It's really strange. We both have birds in our like logos. Why fight, right? I always joke that we have like this weird connection with Crystal Palace. I actually don't mind Crystal Palace as a club, and
from one bird on a ball
honestly,
to another.
It honestly like the best joke self-proclaimed best joke that I made recently, like football wise, was when I created a meme of Pep Guardiola with his head in his hands when they drew against Palace. You remember, like near Christmas, they drew with Palace 2-2, and my self-proclaimed best meme was when Pep Guardiola sees a club from London with Bert in the logo, right? So but jokes aside, like I like personally, I don't really have anything against against Brighton as a club, but I think the Zerbi, again, I don't really have much personal against like the Zerbi. I respect him as a coach. I think sometimes he's a bit naive or a bit too stubborn with his tactics. I think like he's prone to getting like shot on, like Luton did, right? Luton of all teams absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah.
So I think he's a bit prone to that, right? But listen, he's just like stereotypical Italian, a lot of passion, a lot of hand gestures and pointing and all that jazz, right? And I think sometimes just emotions take control of him, right? So yeah, like I'm not necessarily like for like us making it a 15 yellow card game, kicking each other, etc., right? But I would like it if we showed a bit of like fight and a bit of like that grit to not let ourselves get bullied or to not like let them rile us up, right? Because I think against Brentford we massively like let them get to our heads. I think, especially that what was the
Mope?
Mope. Like Mope, you are a cheat. You are a disgrace. You are a cheat. Hope Brighton get relegated, right? That
fight from AFTV.
But yeah, he completely got to our heads that day, and I think this game should have been much closer. It shouldn't be as close against Brentford if not for the fact that we actually let them like impose themselves on us, right? And just disrupted us basically, right? So I hope that we basically show a bit of maturity that I think we lacked in a couple of previous performances. but that's what you get the full squad for, right? That honestly, it's the first time that we have like pretty much all of the players that we have available to us, right? I've seen some mad things about like which players didn't play with another, and like for example, I saw that Maddison never shared a minute with Lo Celso. I've seen something about like if I'm not mistaken, like something about Madison and somebody else from the midfield, and like all that. Just that basically we have like a squad of 20 something players, and some of them never played with each other because of the injuries, because of how much time some of them missed in different parts of the season. So yeah, I am extremely excited for that game, and I think it will be a good game. I don't expect us to keep a clean sheet, just because like it's hard to expect us to do so if we haven't done it for like 12 games or something, right? But yeah.
Do you know what, Michael? I actually think there's going to be a big clamour towards a clean sheet. I was only saying this to Jack in the members' thoughts earlier on. I think there's going to be a big push for a clean sheet this week. I think they're all going to be hungry for it, and I hope that is the case.
Definitely should be. Yeah, there definitely should be a big clamour, right?
100% we should. But look, it's not just on them, right? It's also on Vicario. How do we deal with these sort of vulnerabilities from the set pieces?
Yeah, like the maddest thing was that, listen, hindsight is a beautiful thing, but I have like witnesses. I can actually like point out to my witnesses that when I saw the game against City, when we conceded, it wasn't the first time when Ruben Diaz did this, right? Like ever since I noticed it, I was like, yeah, like get someone between Diaz and Vicario, because like listen, Ruben Diaz is a huge motherfucker. Like you have to, even though like Vicario is a keeper and he can use his hands, he's like referees are more lenient towards goalkeepers using like shoving people, etc. Right? Still, like Ruben Diaz is a huge player. You need someone to help Vicario deal with him, right? And I saw the same thing with Harrison against Everton. I think one thing that really annoyed me with Everton compared to City, right? Because Ruben Diaz, he was basically standing near Vicario and not allowing him to go through him. So he was standing like hard on his feet, and he wasn't really like purposefully like whole body backing into him and trying to knock him off balance or something. I think the thing that pissed me off the most with Everton was that Harrison never, like, not a single thought about the ball. He basically ran into Vicario and pushed him with his hands into the goal. Like I don't know. I'm all for like.
Do you think some of it's allowed within reason, and then some of it's
like,
just too much over the top? Pushing and things like that.
With Ruben Diaz, of course, I was mad because we conceded, but I wasn't really like going over the top with it. I wasn't like, this is a disgrace, cheating bastards, etc. Because there wasn't really like that clear and obvious like movement, right? But with Harrison and with others, I like it was obvious for me that they purposefully targeted like Vicario and shoved him into the goal, right? Which was absolutely mad for me. So that's it basically. Like I think that the easiest way to deal with it is to put someone between Vicario and a player that tried to shove him. But honestly, because I've seen like people saying that it has to be Van de Ven and Romero, I actually don't think so, right? Because unless it's a center back of the opposition team, right? If it's a center back, a big like 1.90 meter guy, then you probably need a Van de Ven or Romero to deal with it, right? But if it's someone like Harrison, you don't really need Van de Ven to shove Harrison away. You can do it with Pape Sarr or with Beckham or with someone else, right? Someone of the similar like posture, right? It doesn't have to be a center back, because when you take a center back off to deal with a guy like Harrison, then Dunk will have like free reign in the penalty box if they decide to the corner in a different way, right? So
I think Sean agrees with that. I know he sort of suggested the same thing, that we just need to get an extra player to help out and not leave Vic entirely on his own to deal with the situation. And I think a lot of people in the chat would agree with you there. Michael, we've heard lots of 3-0s for score predictions. So last question from me here. What's your score prediction ahead of this game? Seagull barbecue?
I'm feeling fancy today. I think it will be a wild scoreline. Like I don't think it will be anything like 2-1 or anything. I think that's too boring. 4-2.
4-2.
I think I think we'll score 4, but I think we'll also concede like 1 or 2, maybe 4-1 or 4-2. But I think if Brighton aren't on it, I think we can absolutely destroy them with the amount of like offensive players that we have at our disposal, with the amount of pace and with the amount of pressing that we can. Because like actually Brighton like to play it from the back, but they aren't like super duper good at it, right? They aren't City. So plenty of goals they conceded this season because they lost the ball playing it out of the back, right? So I think with the amount of pace, pressing, and energy that we have in that front line, and actually finally now being able to substitute some forward players or midfielders with players of similar quality, not Brian Hill, with all due respect. I know you are like prophets of the Brian Hill church, right? But with all honesty to Hill, I think like his time is coming to an end, in my opinion, at our club, right? But if we can like substitute, I don't know, Johnson with Kulusevski, or Werner with Son, or whatever, however you want to like put it, right? I think we have so much energy that we can punish them playing out of the back. So 4-1 or 4-2. If I have to decide on one, 4-1. Let's give it a 4-1.
Let's just hope that we go 4-0 up like they did against us, and then we just give them 2 goals back. Like,
that'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
I honestly want to cook them. Like, listen, we lost 4-2, so I want the balance of goals to be in our favor. I want us to win by more than 2. That would be amazing.
Justice served. Yeah, serve some justice. Completely agree.
I want 5-0. I want 5-0. I want to beat them more than what they bet us. I'm petty like that. But Michael,
let's go for 10. Let's go for 10. Break the record.
I'm not Dermatron. I'm not that deluded. I do have some sort of, reality check. But Michael, great call as always, my man. And I will be in contact this week, and I'll get you on for a conversation, my man. All right.
I'm waiting, David. I'm waiting. My WhatsApp is.
You know what it is that last week, where someone's, the guy who helps us out with the graphics and all, to me, he wanted me to do, set up some stuff behind the scenes like Discord and TikTok and all that sort of stuff. So, that sort of took priority over other things. But this week we'll have you on, Michael, and we'll have a good conversation. Maybe if you're not on that on Monday around lunchtime, maybe we can have a debrief on the game or something like that. Or I'll be in contact with you anyway.
Yeah, go for it. We will make something up, right? So
good man.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to tomorrow's game. I think it will be a banger. See you guys.
And I'm going to pull out my little mascot, so make sure you have yours on the shoulder with me tomorrow for the watch along. Come on.
It's good.
Have a good weekend, Michael.
Come on, have a good one.
Bye.
Have a good Friday.
Bye.
See you, man.
Everybody, show Michael a lot of love in the comments. Absolutely love that guy. I love that much. I had to go out and copy him and get his little Spurs mascot, which is absolutely brilliant. Big up a regular gamer. Good to see you in, my man. Bob Down Under. Sorry to say, but we're actually ending off now, my man. But tomorrow we'll be here for the pre-match build-up, kicking off at 11 a.m. and then also for the watch-along at 2:30 p.m. as well. So hopefully we'll see you all day tomorrow. Then we have Black Wolf 1967. Dave, have you seen the match on YouTube playing snooker? Yes, I have. It's with that Scottish snooker player. What's his name? Lee Hendry, one of them. Fascinating Spurs insight, including he alluded to Kane told him he was leaving before the season started. Yeah, he was saying that he was away with him in England and stuff like that. And, what he actually said is that he, Kane asked Maddison at England camp, was he joining and stuff like that. And when he got to Tottenham, they were sort of chatting, and he was disappointed because Kane told him then he was going, even though he was hoping to come in here and provide Harry Kane the goals. And look, for me, I think Maddison, maybe seeing Kane as his way into that England squad permanently. If he could come here and assist England's golden boy with goals, you'd have to play him in the Euros and stuff like that. And I think maybe it backfired a little bit like that. However, It's a nice snooker room Madison's got there. All the jerseys across the background. It's only new in the gaff as well. And he's struggling to find people to play snooker with. So, Jack, what we need to do is contact Madison and offer him up a game of snooker and have a good chat with him about all things Spurs. But big up Black Wolf. And then lastly, I want to say a massive thank you to Dark Zone G. Big yourself up. Dermatron, Mr. Shire, Phil P, Dave again, Dark Zone G, DJ Samuel, Nick, Davey Shire again, Rhino, Bobby K, Paul Markey, Eltel Cockerell, Mr. Shire, and also just a harmless Spud. I'm going to say Spud because that's what we call potatoes over here. Really appreciate all the support, guys. You have no idea how much it really does help us. And look, I suppose, Jack, that's it from us until tomorrow morning, until we get going again.
Yeah, I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Look out for potentially, I'm going to sit down with P-Dubs, have a nice beer with him. Maybe he can give me his pre-match thoughts. I'll toss that up for the members only, just so that you can get a little extra preview on there. But everybody, see you bright and early for tomorrow. I'm getting up early. I'll be ready for the pre-match build-up. So hopefully you get up early with me. Looking forward to hopefully some Werner on the dance floor, some Richie pigeon dancing, all that good stuff. Yeah, everybody, watch along, pre-match build-up, all happening tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.
Let's go. Come on, you Spurs.
Come
In
on,
the
you
mighty
Spurs.
hands we trust. We never stop. And thank you all for your support today. We'll see you back here 11 a.m. tomorrow. Be there or be square. Let's go. Come on,
See you,
you
everybody.
Spurs.
See you, everybody, in the big hand.